All right. Gonna get everything up and running. We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy here on Reality Scoot Gamers, the show where we do nothing but answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. I'm your host, Ranger J99, and you can see we have content creators starting to creep on in. We've got one with us right now, Mr. Aldous Sandfly, the biggest sandfly be down on the beach.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing very good. Before we get into all of our pleasantries and everything, let me just say how this works. It's a Q&A show. You ask questions, we answer them. So if you have a question that you would like to ask myself or somebody on the panel, whatever content creator shows up, and whoever's going to show up will show up. We have an open invitation to pretty much all the content creators. So it just matter if you can make it here. But if you have a question you want us to answer, or just ask, or something you want us to respond to, just make sure you put the word question, the actual word question, in front of your actual question statement and or comment that you want us to respond to and or answer. It's that simple. You don't have to do anything else. You can give your greeting in the streams, because with all RSG streams, we're interactive. We like to say hi to people. We like to interact with everybody because that's the way we like. That's the way we like it. So say hi. I can see some people in the chat already. We got Ray Rock, Ovakilla187, Yo, Nathaniel Morgan, Jason Hobby, Dalton Mouse, Sato Konnichiwa, and Mr. Bone is rattling in there. So we got some good folks there. And yeah, that's pretty simple. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Do the same thing for all these content creators that come in here for all their content and support them in that way. We're doing our big Patreon push this Tuesday coming up. So if you would like to join us on that 15-hour stream, you can. But if you'd like to become a Patreon before then, become a Patreon. $5 a month supports the channel. It's going to allow us to do some other things like start doing podcasts, uploads to like iTunes, things of that nature, and some other things that I got in the work. But not a lot of content. That being said, last night was just a fun night. Again, I faced someone with a 1.5 million GP difference, had basically all level 9 datacrons on their account. Every character is like Relic 7 to 9 that I fought, mostly Relic 8 9. And I got molested, and that's okay, all this. You know, sometimes, as I said, just tip your cap to the person that has a better account. You go in there, take your beating like a damn man. Sometimes you need to get your ass kicked because that's what you do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just the way it does it. You know, every so often it just coughs up an unfair matchup, and if that person happens to attack on that day, or sometimes they don't attack, yeah.
This guy's account was phenomenal. I mean, mod wise, equal terms. You know, team wise, I could handle it, but it was the relics, and man, those datacrons he had, man, you'd see some rerolls because like. He had every single one for every single team that was just locked in, that were just like, God, dog, man. That's crazy. So you just go, good job. Good job.
Yeah,
You enjoyed the win.
Well done.
Well done, sir. Good job. But
you know, I think that now, even though people lose, I see a lot of people having more fun. Like, I don't know. I think people aren't maybe taking it seriously.
Yeah, it's not. It's
you know,
not
like
that,
they're enjoying it. You know, even though you enjoy it, I don't know. It's not as. I don't know.
I could give a shit less if I win or lose these days with JC, and I'm 5-3. You know, we were 5-2 going into that match. But I'm just trying to have fun with the community and do stuff with them. If I win, great. If I don't at this point, yeah. I mean, especially as a content creator, I got nothing else to prove, man. I've had those epic winning streaks and undefeated seasons and been in the tops, you know, in the GSC leaderboards and stuff like that, you know, top 5 in the top division. So I don't have to prove anything. And I've climbed. I've been in the top 300 with the big boys, and I can say I didn't like it because unless you're spending and you've got everything, it is not a pleasant experience. Because I remember that because I'd gone 3-0, gotten the top 300, and they said, no, get back down. And I went 0-3. That was my first 0-3. So I'm like, okay, cool, salute. So,
well, I am 11 wins in a row.
Oh, nice.
A quite staggering record. I have just dialed in some of the counters. I got Wampa dialed in now against Starkiller. Team been helping with that one. Obviously running Traya against Lord Vader. Yeah. So yeah, just tremendous fun. I got stuck a bit in Amalgus this morning, but eventually managed to actually finish the stream because I thought I'd lost. And then just threw in a sort of JTR team and it managed to beat them. and then restarted the stream. Just I did a second, raided off, stopped the stream, and then thought, oh, hang on, I could still go. Started the stream again, kind of. It was but good fun. So we are now 11 in a row.
Yeah, and when you
yeah,
get it, yeah,
super fun.
I hope you keep winning. I mean, eventually it's going to end, right? And
Well, I dropped down. I did. I honestly, I kind of, when Datacrons, I was struggling for a bit of time with work and stuff. So I kind of dropped down a bit. And I dropped, I didn't purpose, well, I did purposely lose one or two, but I kind of artificially dropped my skill rating down. But I seem to be much better at 3s than I am at 5s. I think 3s is slightly more creativity, slightly more scraping stuff together. And I think it's actually in a good place at the moment with 3s. I think you have a lot of teams for offense now, and I don't know, nothing's really stickable. Lord Vader's no longer invincible. That Datacron's kind of, I had never really problems beating him, but that's obviously a lot easier, so I don't know.
I was a little bit more creativity, but there's pretty much a meta for 3s, and you see a lot of the same teams, over and over. It may not be the same kind of defense, but you'll see some of those teams on offense or defense that you're going to face. So if you do it enough, you're going to see them, and you just have to be prepared for it. Sometimes it works out in your favor if you have the right pieces in your roster to do it, and if not, that's okay. You do the best you can, and sometimes and there's a little bit of luck too. There's a little bit of luck, with the RNG, because you can't account for that, and yeah. So, but yeah, it's a nice one, brother.
I don't know. I don't think people are. I don't know if people are scouting or not. I think maybe less so where I am, but I'm amazed the number of times it gives me a team that's just I just eat it for breakfast. It's going to be Newt Jango B1 versus your Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, it's if you put on Mon Mothra in there, I'm going to use my identity. I find it quite odd that people still give us these looks at the baskets, because they're you've done them so many times.
Yeah, and you'll get used to them. And this was a little rough on this 3v3 because we had just the new Datacron set had just hit. It was coming into 3s. And so we had a little bit of adjustment to do there. But yeah, usually I scout. Now, if it's going to be a close match, if I'm evenly matched or just there's someone slightly ahead of me in GP, I'll look at their teams and what they've done in the past. But like, I've had 2 this round where it's like 11.2, I'm 9.7. Let me see what you have. Okay, let's have a drinking night. I do that going into it. I told boss, like, let's just have some fun and try some counters and stuff. We actually pulled, I was pretty amazed of what we were able to beat. I mean, we had some bad luck happen with the GLs, but it happens. Like the Vader counter against Rey you can still lose. I mean, it's got a high win rate, but you can still lose because
I've lost that twice this week.
Yeah, because that if they have that health still that high, it's really it can make it a little bit of a pain in the ass stuff. So it's all good. We learn, we have fun, and I'm over GAC. It's just a game mode for me, but I mainly use it, as you said, you have fun with the community. You have fun of just hanging out with these wonderful folks, and that's what it's all about. If you win, great. If you don't, drink some coffee.
My defense gets so many holds these days. I mean, I'm running like pretty weird. I'm doing the Savage Omi with Old Ben and Starkiller.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think anybody's beat it the first time. Lots of people rage quit as well against it. I'm running Shakti with Bad Batch. It's just there's just weird teams in there that people don't often see. So I'm surprised how many people drop battles against what you would think would be really standard, easy teams to beat. They just underestimate them.
Well, the team that's really been doing well for me is JML Basla Bears with the Protection Datacron. People underestimate that, and it's catching them off guard. Boba Fett, Bouj Leia, and Zam with the Datacron I got on. This is catching people. And the other one is... Besides, the GLs I put down defense, I mean, those are given. But the other one is, or was it? Crew, Red Lobster Trooper with Star Killer with the Datacron that I've got on there with the tank revive and stuff. Yeah, it gives people... I mean, that team was pretty good without the Datacron, but yeah, that Datacron really makes a difference.
I mean, that tank revive, I think when... we'll obviously talk about Conquest, I guess, next that I during the show, but I think with Datacron's basically coming around, I think I'm going to try and get more of those dark side tank revive. Those are
trying.
pretty sneaky. Those are sneaky, like they're just down to level 3s, I think. So
Yeah, the first Conquest, with the new Datacron set, I usually get I'll get about 9 to 12, but I'm only able to roll like 1 to 9, a couple to 6, and the rest to 3, right? For the ones that I get. But it's usually the second Conquest where I've got all those at those levels where I can now start pushing those to Relic, and it gives me a little bit chance to catch up with some of the big ones.
I'm pretty good. I think I've got 3 level 9s, 1 8. I've got about maybe 15 or 16 in total. I don't know why. I don't know. I'd already had the ship was quite, it was
Well, I
quite
mean,
far
yeah,
down
if
in
you
the
have better
Conquest, but
drop
yeah, good.
rates, it's how many you got and materials and stuff. So yeah. Let me say good morning to everyone. Well, first of all, good morning, Calvin. Awesome to see you slide in there, Calvin. Awesome.
What's up, guys?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Doing pretty well.
I'm glad to hear that, buddy. You missed the fun last night. We could have had you on the Hind stream. You could have been doing the worm with us.
Oh, that does sound like a lot of fun. I had to do Does my voice sound weird, or is this just the first time I'm hearing myself talk today?
So it sounds like you're not on your mic. It sounds like you're on your computer mic, like you're talking on a speakerphone. You're coming in clearly, but and if you are going to use that, then just turn yourself up a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not sure quite what that is. I'll look into it. But no, yeah, I did a remod for someone last night, so that took up several hours, but that was good. But yeah, happy to be here.
Glad to have you. Yeah, I saw you were because I was hanging out with Scribbles yesterday. We all were, and then I went into my stream and I saw you were streaming, and then you just weren't streaming. I'm like, Calvin's tired. He's going to bed. You were streaming for a bit. I'm like, it's time for Calvin to get some sleepy time. Let's see here. Alpha and Omega says hi, Ranger and Skewers. Hello, buddy. Overkiller says gear change for lower levels. Great. Just need the same close to it for gear 12 and relics. We agree. We all agree. Cashmere, rock the Cashmere says good morning. What else in 3 says good morning? That extra hour seems to be helpful so far. Yes. Doing the Hindy stream until late in the late night, and then that extra sleep is making it a little bit easier for me to do this, so I don't feel like I died. Let's see here. Ghost Strike says, hey everyone. Helly's here. There's Helenix. Says having smashed the like button. The wild Helly enters the live chat. Hello everyone. Hello Ranger. Hello Aldous and hello Skewers. As per usual, I'll be lurking while working. I don't really think he works when he's watching this. Does it seem like to you guys? I think Helly's just he's lurking and trolling. That's what he does. The man, the myth, the legend, Contingent 33 says, good morning, everyone. He says that was epic. Yeah, not only did I do a shoey last night, which I was not prepared for, I ended up doing the worm because people went off last night for subs and shit for Heinzie. Got on, what was it? Level 16 hype train? It was just ridiculous, It was something crazy. Happy Saturday to you, Buzzsaw. Yeah. I can't turn up Calvin. It's just his setting. So, I mean, maybe I can zoom. Let me see if I can help Calvin out here. No, helpy. Nope, I can't do it. He's too tired. All right, get your questions in, and we will answer them. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. Someone was asking me, it was Dodger. He was asking about the order for the Grand Inquisitor Datacron. It's his leader first, if you're for DW, but what would be the next one? I'm trying to remember. I haven't done them, so I'm trying to think, is it Ready to Die or Compassion Leaves a Trail?
I think it would be the special, the one that honestly, all three of them kind of look good in their own right. But the special one where he just gets to annihilate when they have 6, I think that's going to be the most helpful when Reva comes out, because then she's going to put 5 stacks of Persian everyone to start. He's going to put the 6, and then he gets a bonus turn just to annihilate someone the first turn. Like they're versus GMK. GK's dead before the match even starts.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Good stuff. But yeah, I know we're just all getting started. We're all grabbing our coffee. Well, all this is drinking. Yeah.
Morning beer.
Yeah, but it's not morning
Morning,
where you're at.
Aldous.
Hell yeah, it's the beer I drink in the morning. Good morning, Alvin. How
But
are
it's
you?
not.
You?
It's not morning there, dude. It's like, what time is it there? It's like 4:00 in the afternoon.
I've been drinking a while.
Okay, but you haven't been drinking since 9 a.m. this morning. Don't try to trick me, man. I know you love your alcohol, but you ain't no alky. Get out of here. Oh, hey, look who's joined us too. We got another special friend coming in. It's the wonderful, the world famous Kate Gaming. Hello, Kate Gaming.
Hey guys.
Good morning. How are you, Kate?
I just rolled out of bed. I'm not feeling too good.
Oh no.
But yeah, my husband brought home like a cold from work. So now I have it. And I feel like I sound nasally. So
Sound a little congested, but you sound fine. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we're
Yeah.
glad to have you here. Look at Kate. Look at Kate troopering up, waking up, drinking some hot tea, and
honey. Gotta
and-
have the local honey.
yes, and hanging out with you guys. And that's why you guys do me a favor. When we get down here, we let these wonderful folks pimp their stuff if they're still here. If not, I'll do it. But you go to their channels, support their stuff, and everything like that. And what's Tree Trunk got the big idea of bringing home a virus to you, Kate? I hope you gave him the what for, getting you all sick and stuff.
I expect it. He's a firefighter. It happens all the
We're gonna have
time.
to get some more vitamins and minerals in Tree Trunk so he don't get sick as often. Then spreading the viruses, we don't want that.
He already brought home COVID once, right? Only he
Oh,
brought it from like
no.
a snowboarding
Well,
trip.
yeah, you can't
But
really.
I think it came from the firehouse because one of the guys that was in like the firehouse had
Uh-huh.
it, and he was like at the end of his quarantine whenever they had those periods, and I'm like, you totally got it.
You
from
just
him.
said that. I'm reading in chat before you said that because there's a delay. Ray Rock goes, well, at least he did bring home COVID, famous Kate. Ha 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 ha.
I saw that, and that's why I was like, yeah, he did.
He did
once.
actually. Yeah,
almost
Ray
a
Rock,
whole
yeah,
year
sorry,
ago,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
At least once. Actually, we think we had it before it was even a thing because the guys, they would go to the house, like, if they can't get sleep at home, their kids are sick and everything. So we
Oh,
think
sure,
the one
yeah.
guy brought it to the firehouse in like November of 2019 because it was down to the T all the symptoms.
Yeah, I think my mom had it. She never even tested for it, but I think she had it because in December 2019, going into January, like it was right after the holidays. Actually, she got
Uh-huh.
really sick. We didn't know what COVID was at the time, right?
Yeah.
I thought she had pneumonia again.
Yeah.
And they treated her for that before everything started kicking off, right? So, and she was really bad, coughing and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, her coughing got so bad. I mean, at one point, I almost was like, okay, I'm taking you to the hospital because you couldn't breathe certain times she would cough. Luckily, it calmed down with the medicine, the cough medicine and stuff that the doctor was giving her. So thank God for that. But yeah, I think she had it too. She does too. She's never gone to get tested. Now she's had all her vaccines, but yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that's funny what Ray Rock said. My God. Ray Rock.
Yep,
That was
that happened at least. Actually, it might have happened the third time because my mom got it in the summer, but we think it went around the firehouse like the week prior. So, but nobody knows. So I don't know. I can't confirm, can't deny.
Yeah, first responders, man, they put their life on the line in so many different ways, especially with COVID now, yeah. God bless them. Heroes. That's why they're heroes. For all our support. All right, get your questions in. Not about Kate's COVID or anything. Her sickness. Well, it could be like, well, how long did you have it? People ask, like, blah, 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 blah. We don't care. She's fine. She's healthy. Get a little bit run down. She's got the virus from Tree Trunk. Got her sick. That's going to happen. But yeah, anything related to the game. Kind of a slow week. We got, Trench's kit. We'll see him in 3 months, and he's not a character that I'm remotely going to go crazy for. He looks nice, but I'll unlock him, but I'm not going to go out of my way because right about that time, I'm going to be getting right about ready to do Riva. And
Is it
I
bad?
think,
I haven't read his kit. I haven't read Zori's. I haven't read whoever came out before. I haven't read the droids. I don't have them yet done. So I don't read any of the kits until I actually have the characters.
they're all good kits. They're all good kits, Kate. Yeah, they're all good. But it's not with the ways things are structured right now. In my opinion, people are more focused on getting Inquisitors, getting to Relic 7, you know, are trying to do what they can to get their characters up for the TB, whatever form that takes. And I know a lot of guilds that are, you know, closer to top echelon or just getting there are working on, everybody working on certain characters to Relic 7, 8, whether it be the Inquisitors, HUD Cartel, or just getting characters of Relic 5 to 7. Some to Relic 8. Like my guild, we've all had our signed Relic 8s that we need to do. I had to do Bo-Katan and Hoth Rebel Soldier. You know, so it's like, yeah, I'll take the bullet on that. You know, I'll get them up to that Relic level and make
So
that
then I got a
investment.
question, like then going off it, because I've actually been asked quite a few times recently, and I'm trying to remember. It was like, do you go for Jabba or I forget, the second option kind of always changes. I think it's like I don't remember if it was Inquisitor. Somebody asked me recently. Like it was Jabba and something else.
If you
Might have been Star Killer, actually, they were asking about. too.
It depends on where you are at in the game and where your guild is at. I mean, that
Yeah.
is very much something that I'm telling people. It's like, if you're in a guild and you ain't even, you're just barely sniffing anything in the new TB, then go get Star Killer. You know, you can progress as, you know, time goes on, right? And eventually, within less than 6 months, Grand Inquisitor will be permanent in there, right? And then you go back and get those characters up that you need for the mission zones. And hell, they might even change in 6 months, 6 to 9 months. They could change, like the character and or other things. But if you are in a guild that's starting to push stars and stuff in the new TB, Inquisitors, then Hut Cartel, you know, I mean, you put some stuff you have to. I mean, Bob's was talking about this yesterday on the stream while we were streaming, that he put aside some things because, you know, he had to go work on certain things for the guild. You know, it's not about what he needed, it was what the guild needed so that we could progress. And now he's in, now he can go back and work on that stuff. So it's very situational, I think.
Yeah, and I can tell you, like from the mid tier, like the middle guilds, because I'm in one, officer in one. I could tell you that like we're gonna be looking at Riva as like you look at the cam farm, but we're not gonna really like push for it until Inquisitors go accelerated farm, which should start soon.
Yeah, I think a lot of mid-tier guilds are going to be like that because, I mean, you need one, you need Grand
That's a lot of
Inquisitor.
it. Star Killer, Profundity, and Jabba. That's usually like the 3 that get bounced around.
I always
I
say,
think it depends where you go. I always say ships.
yeah, ships
but-
first, man. I mean, and it just gets you into other pieces. Like if you do Profundity, it really gets you into your Rebel farm and JML farm and stuff like that. Jabba's kind of a later character. Don't get me wrong, you can work on any of these characters when you want. I mean, Star Killer's a fun one to get easy. He's actually, the only thing that'll slow you down is because there's 3 cantinas in there. Cantina farms, but one, you know, hard no farm with his Mary Jade. I wouldn't go towards Star Killer till you got her 7-star, because the other ones you can knock out in a week or 2, you know, each one really quick with Cantina energy for using refreshes. Yeah, we always go ships here. It does make a difference when you have that fleet. It gives you some options, baby.
Even if it's like a slow farm and you're like, because my smaller account only has a 4-star Profundity, but
yeah, if you can get it unlocked,
Profundity is actually done very well for me.
Yeah, Executive's a little different because you've got to get that ship 7-star as quickly as possible because it's not as effective as, say, the Profundity is at lower stars. So yeah, there's no wrong answer. You know, Jonathan Bradford is the one that says I'm wedged between Starkiller, Profundity, and Jabba. Honestly, man, we'd say ships, but after that, character-wise, farm. The other thing you have to take into consideration is the game. If you really like certain characters, like say Starkiller's one of your favorite characters, go get Starkiller.
But also the thing with Star Killer, it's only 4 characters versus how many are for Jabba?
15. It's a jail farm, yeah. It's pretty gross.
Are they accelerated now? The Star Killer character?
Yes, they are accelerated.
Yeah, they all are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just go Profundity, Star Killer, Jabba. Yeah, it's Johnny B.
Johnny Bradford. Johnny B 6'5". We're glad to have you here. Who's Johnny? She said and smiled in her special way. Oh, we have a question from Hallie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's rock and roll. It says, question for whomever. He says, firstly, hello, Calvin, and hello, Kate. I'm at work, so couldn't say hey earlier. May I ask, tell me about Trench. I saw he's the next Conquest reward, and I don't know nothing about his kit. Well, let's go
Didn't
to
I read it?
Yeah, Kate didn't read it. I have, but we'll let our 2 preferred election. We'll go to Calvin Awesome and all this here. Calvin, what looking at his kit, I mean, it's great, it's cool, but I mean, your thoughts overall on Mr. Trench?
So kit overall looks great. I made a YouTube video on this. The big problem with Trench that we need to solve is that this is the first team we're getting that's going to actively take away not filler units. Like Magma Trooper and Snow Trooper, they were kind of sitting on the sidelines. They weren't really doing anything when Iden came out, or when Sortie came out and she took T3. We have all these kind of new lifter-ish characters. Newt, Watt, and Django are in some, depending on your roster, some in very important teams that kind of kiboshing all three of them to make this work might not even be the best solution for you. So I think he's going to be very good for TW, not just because of the Omicrons, but because we need less teams. Like, you don't necessarily need a GG Newt as much in TW as you do in JC because your teams are lesser, and also Starkiller or GG doesn't kill Juhani.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall looks really good. We do have to be wise in it, and I'm curious to see what CG is going to bring in the future because they're aware. They are aware that C right now is very reliant on Watt. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next Conquest character is C's lifter to kind of help fill that void or kind of make a vacuum, really, if you're really wanting to pull Watt to Trench. And we can't even... One of the different things with it, it's not even like Mon Mothma, where if you don't want to use, let's say, Kara and Kaya with Mon Mothma, you can just give her some Junk Rebel fighters and she'll kind of function, or at least function on a lesser level. There's not really... There aren't other lesser non-Geonosian, non-droid separatists. You run out very quick. If you're using Watt with C, or with SLKR, or wherever, and you're using Newt with General Grievous, you don't have a full team. Like, there aren't enough substitutes. Like, you can pull in a Saj, and then you're kind of done. So it looks good, but it is going to either reorganize the board in GAC, and it'll probably be fine in Territory Wars, honestly.
All right, Aldous, your thoughts on the Trench kit?
Obviously, Calvin's an expert. Yeah, I think weirdly enough, people aren't really talking about Trench, talking about what, because that is the main discussion point. Is that if Trench needs what, then what do we do for C? So that seems to be kind of a lot of the discussion. Obviously, it's TW focus, which obviously is a bit disappointing because the last one we had was Sign of Django, and that's probably the least wanted Conquest character, maybe. Maybe controversial, but so I think but his kit looks good. I mean, he's adding basic speeds for people with tech. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if we got a separatist who could do tech, another one, or they did a weird rework or something, or I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but they refer to kind of, with tech on them. So they don't necessarily say it's what in the team. They just talk about tech, and obviously the Backoid shield generation talk about specifically because of the issue with is it Dooku? Can't remember. So I think
Dooku created a tank essentially.
Yeah. So I think the kit looks good. It's better than Sign of Django. It's going to be slightly more generic because it's got generic speed, generic offense. But like I say, a lot of people are just worried what to do with what. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a separatist of some sort that was able to put another tech on it. Or something.
What do you think of this, guys? This is what I was thinking when I saw that Watt was going to be pulled. I think C's getting his lifter very soon, and it may not even be a Conquest character. I think they're just going to put it out there, because if they're going to pull Watt, I think they're going to give us the lifter for C, whatever that may entail. I don't really care, but and I think they're going to address some of the issues with C, with the lifter that we have. And don't get me wrong, C is great, and he's great on offense, but Sith die, when you're using him, so he's not as banner efficient. He's only really good on offense. You can use him on defense, but there's still not something you normally want to put on defense, right? And he's so I was thinking that lifter character is coming sooner rather than later, before Trench, or right as Trench is finishing up. They're going to drop this because they're going to try to push money.
But haven't all lifter characters been Conquest?
So far.
They've all been,
But it could be.
I could see one being TB, but TB would take a lot longer to hit here.
That's basically Reva, is how they're looking at Reva.
For Inquisitors, Christ, yeah, she's gross. When she comes into this game, it's going to be a game changer, because that kid is disgusting. Like, I'm saving all resources for Reva.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, she's a bad.
That's
It is-
still a way away.
It is possible though they stick an Omicron on a Sith, and that Omicron allows them to put tank tech. So you might end up with a not necessarily a brand new character, but they could do it through an Omicron route.
The thing you'll do is see. You talk about the Datacrons, Omicrons. You go more
Omicron.
tanks, and you'll go armor and use her, and you can still do good work with C there. But
It'd be
yeah,
cool if like C's like lifter unit had something like with a revive mechanic because they basically all die anyways.
yeah.
Well, he doesn't let them revive.
Yeah, you can't
Like,
revive
unless
with
they
them.
want to amend.
Well,
that.
they could always edit the kit.
No, they could. Yeah, they could change.
Something they've done in the past.
So it'll be interesting to see. Let's play it out. I mean, trenching comes for 3 months, and we're not even going to be thinking about it until then. So, when we'll see what else they drop in the next couple months, and then we can then say what's the plan of action. But I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to be okay. Jack Neal says Ranger snapped to Jarny 5 there. I did. Questions. Helly, question for you guys. Say you want to build a Rebel Fighter squad. Obviously, Mon Mothma lead. Catan seems built for the Rebel Fighter sub faction. What other 3 tunes are best? I usually tell people it's Hoth Rebel Scout, POW, and Kara.
Yep.
And if you're going to move Kara to, say, the new Sana team, then you can throw SRP there, unless you're going to use SRP for like a Rogue One. But you've got mix and matches there. You can even go Biston in that team and mix and match. And then that way you can put SRP on that team and then just go Chirrut Bays with Rogue One. I think that's pretty straightforward, right? That's the best Momo team because it just gets in that Terminator loop. We've all faced it in Conquest. Who has not faced it in Conquest where you're like, I'm getting looped. Not good. I'm never going to take a turn. Especially in Sector 4 and 5. That's a pretty good... I mean, is there any other variations you guys like for the Momo team?
That's the best one.
That's the
No.
best one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the best one.
You can kind of substitute some stuff in and out, but you're not. I don't think you're getting a lot better.
All right, give me a second here. Contingent just said he did something. He's always messing with me. What did you do, Contingent? All right, I'm taking a brief moment. I'll get your questions here in a second. Oh, Contingent. Brother. I'll get with you offline, man. You are something else, dude. Oh, my God. All right, Contingent. You got me again, brother. Oh, my God. Just get some big contingents in the chat, man. He just hooked me up again like he always does. Just like he did with the Beskar Mando armor. My God, this guy. Christ in heaven. Oh, I'll get with you when I get done with this stream, you bitch. Oh my God, what did you do? All right, Snakes1594 question that says, I just got Relic 8 SLKR Ultimate. Next GL, I have all-star requirements for Lord Schmader. Just need gear and relic. Should I push for Lord Vader? Every time Arnold plays him, looks like he's going to stroke out. Lord Vader's usually... Here's one of the reasons why. It's not that Lord Vader's not bad. He's really good on offense and defense. He's a hell of a character for offense. The issue with Lord Vader is for players that are mid-tier moving up. He is such a drain.
Well, I think the big question too
gear and
is
relics.
what are the other options? Like,
Yeah,
if you
what
could
are
do
the-
Lord Vader?
right.
What would you do?
Yeah. That's the only
That's a
thing.
good point because you almost want everything in the game. It's just what are you giving up to do this?
Yeah. Like, is this the only GL you're missing? Is it, I don't know, what else do you have left?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tough... I've had people ask me all the time, do I do this GL or Vader? And I'm always like, no, go do that GL. It'll be quicker. You know, if it's between like a SLKR and Rey, which you can get a lot quicker, less gear, plus you get fleets out of both those squads, which is important. You know, Lord Vader's a tough one. You got to get the Bad Batch to 4 to Relic 5. Their gear is horrible. That's what, 1600 Chirotechs right there?
But the Bad Batch are actually very good.
Oh, they're
to have.
fantastic.
Yeah,
but yeah.
that's one of the easier parts of the fire, in my
Yeah.
opinion. The R7s and R8s on the filler characters is what really hurts.
Yeah, it's
Since
tough.
Snakes is saying nowhere close to other GL. So I guess then the question is like, what GLs are you missing? Because I would consider like if you're missing like no, they said Slacker already. Ray's like they were cheaper.
I'd probably finish Lord Vader if you're closest.
But yeah.
Like, I'd listen to
Yeah,
your
if you're
roster.
close, yeah.
I would hang on. I mean, at the moment, obviously, CG is looking at the Traya, Omicron versus Lord Vader. It is possible they buff Lord Vader. Everyone's saying they'll definitely nerf Traya. It's possible they do something to Lord Vader's kit. And that would be in your benefit. So I think I would maybe give it a week or something. I think they'll probably come out with a, inverted commas, an answer to the Traya Omi thing probably next week before the next 5v5 kicks in. So I think I would maybe hang off until that point before I actually really hit that button. Because, like I say, we might see Lord Vader get a lot better. I actually think Lord Vader's probably maybe the second or third best GL. He is very, very, very good. He just has a few counters that are very good against him. But I think they'll probably look at them. So yeah, I would hang on a week. I'd hang on a week until they finish the Traya Lord Vader in discussion. I don't necessarily think, because I've been seeing a lot of people fail against Lord Vader this week. That trio or the Nihilist lead is nowhere near as automatic as what maybe it looked like at the start.
And if you pull up the statistics for highest defensive hold teams,
I just did.
It's like Raylo at first and Lord Vader at second. And
yeah,
the kicker to that is Lord Vader will solo the Raylo team. So not only is he holding well defensively, even with this Traya thing out there, he's also he's a really good offensive tool. I finally pulled him from defense because I didn't like Traya beating him, and it's really fun to use I used my R8 Lord Vader, sold an R9 Ray Ben solo team. It's fun.
Yeah. He says, I have C and GMK. I'm closer to Inquisitor team.
That depends on your guild.
That depends on your guild. If they're not sniffing Reeve and
exactly.
you're not even getting to phase 3 where you can even go into that mission, then I would say, yeah, stick to Lord Vader. If you already have C and GMK, those are two big ones, that high relics. If you knock out Vader, then the next other ones are going to be much easier for you and quicker. So, you know, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. You get some good stuff out of it. Just it's a damn nightmare. I remember that farm like
it does.
How many relic 7s and 8s I have to do? Jesus Christ! Oh
it completely drains your relic stuff.
It drains
I think
everything.
More than any other Galactic Legend did for me.
Yeah. Holy cow. What else? Any 3 question? What's the optimal team for Sana in 5v5? I don't have her 7-star yet, but I hear that it doesn't matter as long as the rest of the crew are. I don't know. I don't have her. Anybody here done anything with her? This would be kind of a Karth question. He's not here right now, so
I've seen her do some stuff. I don't know if I like the team for endgame. Like if you have 6 or 7 Galactic Legends, her team really isn't that high up. I mean, maybe like right now, just because people don't know how to handle it, but it's not that hard. But I think the ideal team is Sana, Stormtrooper Han. It's actually Captain Han, awkwardly enough, because he's the one who can stop. Because he's the one who stops Wampa from just soloing that team. Because you get the tenacity down, then you land the daze, and he just dies. So Stormtrooper Han, Captain Han, and then Rolo for damage, awkwardly enough. And I think the last one is
you could throw Car in there if you don't want to use her for the Momo team in 5s, because you can.
Yeah, you can use Car. I think Car. The flex would probably be Car or Lando.
Yeah,
like that. Those are your 2 choices.
Yes. So there you go. Maximus Desmus Meridius 242 says, question, when do you think we'll get a road ahead? I am so confused right now with what's going on with communication CG. We're getting the bare minimum of stuff, right? We get posts from Meathead that's just like, here's the latest update, here's the latest thing. They do Q&A. I ignore that. It's like, it's just, all right, we're gonna do softball crap. I don't care, you know.
The ones where the characters were pretty good.
The characters are fine. Yeah, they always do, you know.
The game modes were, they were.
Oh boy, oh my god.
I mean, they were answering some of the questions, but it was very so much just like, it felt like corporate answers where they weren't actually answering the question.
When do you guys think of Road Ahead? I don't think we're getting one till February.
I'm kind of whatever. Like they've given me, as far as characters and content and like game modes, they've given me plenty of content to work with. Like I'm very focused on what's in front of me with Riva and Trench and TB. I'm not really.
I'm farming Hondo right now, man. That dude's, you know, I'm about to have him done tomorrow, so that's gonna be great.
I'm okay with them being quiet for a minute and not really dropping anything else on us.
I'm trying to remember last year at this time. We didn't have anything in January. We got characters and stuff, and it was kind of quiet as they started ramping back up after the holidays. I don't remember if we got one in February or March when we got that first, Road Ahead State of the Galaxy starting to come out. So it may be.
Probably look it up.
Yeah, if you can,
I'll do
because
that.
not that they'll follow that same pattern, but I just think they need time before. I think it's going to be like in March, and the reason I say that end of February, March is because it's going to lay out the blueprint as we get into the 40th anniversary with Star Wars Celebration coming up in May. At that time, 40th anniversary, all that stuff, right? May the 4th is stuff that's going to be coming down the pipe.
I think there's a strong chance we could finally see Cal Kestis as the Star Killer mimic for this year with Jedi Survivor coming out middle of March. It's perfectly timed for them to do Jedi Survivor and Cal Kestis in game, and then give us, was it Siri? You could even give us the entire Fallen Order team, Merrin, Siri, and Reese with Assault. And the guy. So I mean, I that's what, if I was a gambling man, which clearly I am, I'd have my money on Cal Kestis being a Star Killer, and I'm doing exactly the same as Star Killer did before. The same kind of cadence, the same kind of launches. But it would be a big launch for them because of the game as well, because the game will break all sort of records. So I think they'll do a tie-in there, would be my. The other one would be an Ahsoka potential tie-in. But I think it's more likely Cal Kestis, because they would have had the model from the first game.
March 1st
You don't
cannot
think they're
get
gonna
here.
announce like a new
That's
GL?
I don't know. That's another good question. When would they announce it? I mean, usually they announce it 2 months on
It's
average.
like usually ahead.
Yeah, it's always ahead. No, they've got this new cadence where we're not going to have. Well, there'll be marquees associated with it, whatever it'll be. And they will not.
Well, wasn't there like 6-month intervals in between GLs?
Yeah, looks like what they're doing
there
is a yearly.
Huge interval
It's a year
between Lord Vader and Jabba.
It's
It
a year?
was over
Yeah,
a
it's a
year. It was
year.
like 14 months or something like that.
When did Jabba get announced?
Jabba hit the game in September, which means he was probably announced in what?
July? Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not this road ahead.
Yeah, I would anticipate the second one. That being said, we did get a State of the Galaxy last February just to kind of hold us over, and then the actual road ahead came in March. And I would again, Ranger, you said it, like they can do kind of whatever they want. They're not tied to doing that again. But that's where I would probably put my expectation. I think they're going to kind of ride out in January, just kind of sprinkling things in like they did with Zori and whatnot, and then we'll actually get an idea of what they're doing in February.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to look at it. We'll see. When it comes, it comes. And so, yeah.
I mean, I have to say, sorry, but the road ahead have been a little bit disappointing. They are more they've been very much the road shortly ahead of us or the road behind us, rather than actually what they used to be a long time ago, where they actually kind of talked almost 6 months in the future with little hints about Pam and hints about this. I think I'm less excited about them because, to be honest, they tend to just be a character announcement more than anything else. They don't really give me a massive road ahead. They don't really promise, right, we're going to do a gear change there or a quality of life there, or they just kind of, I don't know, they just kind of announce what's coming in the next week or two. So I don't find them as groundbreaking maybe as they used to be.
The ones that they did around the time that the droids got reworked, they gave us like one of everything. They're like, all right, this is the direction, this is the time area we're doing, this is the quality of life change, this is what we're trying to usher in for the new meta. Here's an update for these game modes. They did do more of a, I guess, well-rounded road ahead, where it does feel like these last, probably really almost all last year, and I'm okay with it. It's fine, but they have been like kind of picking and choosing what they want to talk about.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. We'll digest it like we always do. Contingent, the man, the myth, the legend himself says, question: I have not been utilizing the newest released non-GL characters in GAC, TW, or TB. Are they best used on offense or defense in GAC and TW, or at all in TBs? TBs for sure. Hondo is amazing, and he's definitely an offensive character. I don't know about Dr. Afra or Sana in the droids.
They're doing well on offense in GAC with the Datacron.
Yeah. I know Sana on defense with the team you mentioned. It's starting to flip, but it was throwing people completely off. They were not prepared for how gross that character was. Do you guys see TB's TB. If you got the character and it's modded, you can go in there and do good work in phase 1 and 2 and stuff with those. But GAC and TW, GAC Hondo for sure on offense is gross. But what do you guys heard or know about Dr. Afra and Sana and those guys?
Not
Anything?
really too big.
I've heard negative things about Sana. Like
Yeah.
she's
Really?
yeah, she's there's a place that can use her. Like if you have a smaller account and let's say maybe 3 or 4 GLs, and one of them is JML or Jabba. So you have basically what I'm getting at is you have Jedi Knight Luke unlocked, you have Rolo, Captain Han, and Lando built up. Then she's kind of a nice team, kind of like a Mon Mothma level or a Geo level team that kind of helps fit in there. But if you're looking at like a 6-7 GL roster, she doesn't really make the cut.
All right. What else in the three's question? If you had Jabba already, who would you take to Relic 9 first, Chrysanthemum or Malgus? I say Malgus because of just his bonuses and stuff. You can get away with like a Relic 7. I've got a Relic 7 right now, but especially if you got the Omicron for GAC, he gets that 40% protection, I believe, and some other stuff. Malgus, man, those stats on him make him such a pain in the goddamn ass to face. He's one of the ones I've had Relic 9. If I had to pick, I'd say Malgus. But there's really not a wrong answer there because Chrysanthemum's pretty disgusting with his stats too as a tank for the Jabba team. Just takes longer to kill, but with the Datacrons and stuff, I don't know. Malgus, I'm saying Malgus. What do you guys say?
Yeah, they both change like one specific matchup. Like Chrysanthemum being tankier is really hard for Inquisitors, but also Malgus. So I'm inclined to lean Malgus just because you're not just looking at defensive viability for him. His damage for his big hit scales off of his health.
Yeah.
So if you're bumping up his relic levels and getting him even tankier, yeah, sure, he's a better tank, but he's also doing more damage, which does start to eclipse the gas counter.
Yes.
So both of that, like you said, I just agree with you, Ranger, I guess. Both of them are good, but I probably lean towards Malgus.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be upset with anybody who said I took Chrysanthemum to Relic 9. Like,
Oh yeah.
well, because I've seen Karst Relic 9, I think, Chrysanthemum, and that thing had stats. I was like, holy God, I don't want to face that. Yeah, that would be awful. Even for a GMK team. Better have that damn new scoundrel Datacron that keeps revives from happening because, holy God.
Yeah, there are solutions to both of them. If you throw C at Malgus, his relic level doesn't matter, and if you throw JMK Cat anti-revive at Chrysanthemum, also doesn't matter. So they're pretty even.
Yeah, I agree with you though. That damage thing, I wasn't thinking about that. It's a good point, Cal. All right, Maximus again. Another question says, do you think CG will ever give us the option to play 3v3 or 5v5? I'm not a fan of 3v3. Would rather play 5v5. No. They're not.
Because nobody would play 3v3.
Yeah.
I like 3v3, but not enough people would choose it.
It'll just be me and Aldous over there and be like, guys, we took first. And they're like, yeah, because there's 7 of you.
Well, yeah, but first is first. I don't know. I think if I was able to play, I would sometimes do 5, sometimes do 3. But yeah, no, I don't think they will never make us pick or let us pick.
Nightmare question. How do you fix the power levels for TW when the top 2 guilds have almost 600 million GP and the number 8 guild in the game only has 500 million GP? Is there a way to fix this, or are we just all effed? I don't know how you fix that. I mean,
you don't. There's no fixing it.
Yeah.
There is no solution to that system. Like, people talk about TW matchmaking. There's only so many TW guilds out there, and I mean they can't just artificially inflate, say, guild number 3, or they can't just take down pegs from guild number 1 and 2. It's unfortunately, I think that's just part of the structure of the game. Like, there's not really a solution to that.
Yeah.
No.
Two things I would do. I would either randomize the top 16. So once you hit the top 16, it's a random rather than 1v2, etc. The other way, and I would do this maybe in GC as well, is put a load of Relic 10 bot accounts in. If you put 6 or 7 at the top, then you prevent people controlling the top 8 in GAC. Because literally they'll get stomped on by a bot account that has way more relics than they ever have. Just put a max bot account in. Maybe even the same in TW. Just put in something, and then I'm sorry, but if you're number 1, then you can fight the bot, and you can have the ability. And if you beat the bot, well done. But it's going to have crazy relics and crazy speeds and mods. So I don't know. I think that'd be a kind of fun way. But yeah, I think when I used to talk, I mean, obviously talked to Sir Loki quite a few times. He was always very disillusioned with the top because it was fighting the same people over and over and over and over.
Yeah,
and it's really boring because it's the same. And I think GAC potentially got a little bit the same as well when people were just before Datacrons, it was the same people in the top 20, top 16, again facing the same people over and over again. I think they've got to put a randomizer into their matchmaking somewhere. So at the moment, instead of just grabbing the 8 people, give it a bit of a random, give it a few up and a few down and randomize it in some way, but just so it's not quite so controllable, which I think at the moment it is.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what the solution is. It's we'll throw out some ideas here to see what happens. But yeah, right now, nothing's going to happen.
There's a lot of different stuff with that because
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I play in the top, so I kind of know how it is. You see a lot of the same guilds. It's never the same defense you're going against, so it switches it up, but you're putting in a lot more effort for the same rewards as probably Rangers Guild is getting.
Yeah, because we're 485 million, so right
and
now.
Like Rangers Guild could be winning everything and they're still going to get more rewards. It's a choice. You have a choice there. A lot of people in the top, you're choosing to play at the top because there's a lot of accounts in other guilds that are way bigger than mine, way better than mine, but they're choosing to play in a different guild. Like it comes down to that as well.
Yeah, but you have to have certain expectations. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do think, sorry, that's a good point. I do think they need to create another 2 or 3 levels above the 380 million GP for the lock-in. I think guilds are now, I mean, TW, I haven't looked at this one, but, we normally join with maybe 45 people and we're above the 380. I think you should really create a 420 and a 460 banding and then give slightly better rewards than what you're giving at 380. I think that's probably the most needed change if you're going to keep people from, like Kate says, the people higher up are not getting any more rewards, but they're facing harder.
One thing that I would be kind of fun, and I don't know if this is the direct solution to this problem, but I've been thinking about it for a while, is if, and I think I might have even mentioned it here before, but if they split guilds, not split the guild, but for TW, they had kind of like varsity and junior varsity teams.
Oh, yeah.
And then you would have, so like this top 25 going against that 25. And I think it really would expand beyond just 2 top guilds. You'd probably get some more that would be able to enter in because of that. And it would also kind of solve the sandbag problem a little bit too, because unless you're joining with less than 25, which I guess you wouldn't be able to, well, they'd have to change that number. And then you can also reduce the zones with this because there's less people playing. So, and depending on your guild, you could either do it by competitiveness or you could do it by time zone.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so we have a mixed group of European guys and people up more on North America. You just tell, all right, you guys 25, you 25 or 20 go over there, us 25 or 20 go over here. I think that would be kind of fun.
That would be dope.
Don't actually
like
split
that.
the guild.
Yeah.
Like, keep TB together, keep your raids together, keep all that together. But I think it would be a solution to a lot of problems. It would help fix sandbagging because your partial junior varsity team will go up against another partial junior varsity team. And yeah, I think that might help. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that could also help burnout too in real life. Like if you're like, I just want to not go as hard this week.
Put me in the junior.
Yeah. Like I feel like a lot of people would take advantage of that because there's only so much you can do before you get burnt out. Everybody's going to get burnt out at some point. And everybody needs a break.
You can swap back and forth between the two.
Yeah. Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, I've had real life stuff going on. I'm like, I need to switch out because I'm just not going to be around for attack phase.
Yeah, I don't do TW at all. I do about 1 or 2 a year just because I want to maintain that life game balance and removing the TW, which is a lot of very time critical things that go on, a lot of checking Discord and a lot of doing, a lot of studying really, really difficult counters. Yeah, so I like to avoid TW unless I have a lot of time on a day and I know I'm going to be able to really kind of focus on it because it is so crucial.
All right, let's get to the next question from Subtle Dagger. Getting to the top of the hour, so get your questions in, guys. Again, follow the format as everybody's doing. If you have a question or comment or statement you want us to respond to and or answer, make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. Also hit the thumbs up. We got like almost 80 people watching, 19 likes. We can do a little bit better, guys. Let's get a few more hits on the thumbs up, please. It does help support the content, especially if you're watching it. You must like it. So just show a little support. That's the easiest way just to show some love for the channel. And that's my daily reminder. All right, Settle Dagger question. I'm at 6.7 million GP. I have JMK, SLKR, Executor, and Profundity. I will have Starkiller in 3 to 4 weeks. My plan was to go for JML next. I do have Jedi Knight Luke, but wondering if I should go for Jabba before JML. That's.
Hold on, I need to read that question. Where was that?
He says, yeah, he already has Jedi Knight Luke, though.
I'd encourage JML just because there's more overlap. But from Jedi Luke to Jedi Master Luke, like we've talked about this a little bit. Jabba is great. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
But he's really nice, I think, for older accounts that have kind of more filled up, because you want the top tier team, but when you're lower down, kind of like around the 6 million range, you really should also be invested in the requirements. And the sad story is that Jabba has a lot of garbage requirements. Like they're all R3s, so that's nice. But Jawa, Mob Enforcer, like you're not using these characters anywhere.
They all like are broken up teams. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of them.
That too.
I mean,
you need a full roster to
Tuskens
take
you can
advantage
use
of
in
3PL.
3v3s, especially if you have Lord Vader, because one of them was a requirement there, so you just left with one. So it's broken up. I would go JML.
Yeah.
For me, from a Conquest point of view, GML is very
He's so
handy.
good.
GML can actually help you cheese quite a few of the feats because of his being
yeah.
able to taunt quite a lot, and also being able to kind of force taunts on him and things and call people. He is a very useful Conquest character, rather, whereas I think Jabba does good damage, but he doesn't really do anything really in the Conquest apart from just be good as a character. So for me, GML allows a little bit of cheese. It allows you to cheese torture, I believe.
All right. Ray Rock question. My Executrix is at Relic 2. At what level will be consistently countering the profanity? Oh boy.
Executor's Relic 2?
Executrix.
Oh. I think there's a break point where he needs to be R7 with all 6-dot mods, I think, for speed.
Yes. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Or you can do like 2 Zetas instead of some of the 6 dots, but there is...
It's Relic
I
7.
Actually, I can check.
I'm pretty sure it's Relic 7. Well, he's a requirement for Relic 7 for, I think, was it Vader? One of the two?
Yes,
Tarkin?
it is Vader.
But yeah, just ship itself, taking that aside, yeah, profanities with the Relic 9 out, running that speed on that team, and to get ahead of it and to have a good counter, you need Relic 7. You need 16 mod. You need as much as you can get, because that is a nasty fight.
The magic number is 183 speed. And there's a few ways to get there, but the easiest way is Relic 7 and 6-dot mods. You can trade out Zetas for some of that, but there's not a lot of wiggle room.
All right, let's see. Next question. Things being slow. The engineer, choo choo, says, question, is the Boosh raid Omicron any good for the Sith raid? Yes. It's very good. I haven't put it on, but I mean, I've heard some crazy shit about that Omicron. Just because I've got other Omicron priorities, I would love to put that on there. But
it's the best raid Omicron.
Yeah, it really is.
Is that a video you're doing, Calvin? You can rank all the raid Omicrons for us.
At number 1, Leia.
We don't need. It is good, but I would never put it on. I think Omicrons are now becoming probably some of the most valuable stuff, and we're now getting characters that don't work anywhere near as good without. So whereas before the character was good, and then the Omicron made them great, now the characters are a bit meh, and the Omicron gives them what you need. So I think with now moving to 3 Omicrons on characters and things, I think Omicrons are probably one of the most valuable currencies in the game. So I wouldn't put it on, but it is good.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could put the Leia Omicron on, but I'm about to do Hondo's, and then I'm saving for Reva because she's going to need her 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a no-brainer. But it's going to take you, even doing all the conquests and getting the $9.99 pack, you get them out of there. But when you're having to farm characters like I'm doing Hondo right now, I'm not farming the nodes for signal data, which is why I did all the relicing that I did before I did Hondo. But I'm going back in and I'll start picking them up. But it takes a while to get Omicrons. It's really tough
I
once
think
you're
like
buying
if you're
them.
true free to play or whatever, I think it's a month for Omicron.
Yeah.
It's a while.
Yeah.
And then you got to make sure you remember to do all the galactic challenges, which I forget
Yeah.
sometimes.
Poor Kate.
I usually get them on the big account. The smaller account, it's very hit or miss.
What else? Only 3 questions. Not just because of the tank revive Datacron, but does it seem like we need more tanks in the game?
You
No.
can always use them.
No, but I do like that Omicron. It's actually given me a couple more counters to choose from that are not
Yeah,
GL.
the
So it's
Datacron.
actually
Yeah.
it's helped a lot, like with using bounty hunters versus Lord Vader. It's helped a lot with I've been using Darth Revan, Malik, Basti versus Starkiller with that Datacron. So
Yeah. I think we're in a good spot for tanks. I mean, pretty much every team has tanks or a couple tanks with them. I mean, some tanks
I
are.
always need one more Jedi tank. And
Well, what do we got for Jedi tanks? We have Mace, GK,
ton.
Old Ben. Yeah.
JML.
JML, and they're good tanks.
Yes.
JML, Old Ben, Mace, GK. But I always end up. I think it's Starkiller that's hitting me. I always end up needing one for him.
I think it's Sith tanks for help see out potentially.
We have and all the Sith tanks are also just super good.
Yeah.
Like Savage, Scion, Malik. The worst Sith tank is Sith Empire Trooper.
He's solid.
And he's pretty darn good.
He's solid, yeah.
Yeah, I use him religiously with C if I can, especially in 5s, because brother can take a hit.
You can always use more though.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I mean, no, yeah. If we could get more tanks,
If
sure.
they're like Darth Bane, new Sith tank could be like, okay.
Oh no, not that. All right, Dark Side, welcome, my friend. Says question: if you were to strictly use Lord Vader for offense, how would you mod him? I don't think his modding changes that much. I mean, it's still
No.
two
it doesn't
numbers.
change at all.
Best offense you can get on him, but really he ramps. So over 100,000 health, over 200,000 protection, as much as you can get, and then his offense stats. But I mean, secondary to.
I think the argument for crit damage on the triangle becomes a lot
Yes.
more attractive.
Yes.
Just so you don't time out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would say. But even that's not bad on defense. Crit damage triangle on Lord Vader. Like that's a way to do it.
I think it will change depending on exactly the Datacron you have. If you've got one that's going to give massive tenacity or massive potence or massive crit chance, then you can get away with it. But yeah, it's what Calvin said. But I think it would move around depending a little bit on what Datacrons I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen too. Like if you have like just a ton of crit damage, like 70 crit damage on your Datacron, then maybe protection is better, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It'll depend on what's out there.
You know, like I've got a protection cron that it religiously goes on GML just because it's so stupid how hard he can go in there with just, and especially in 3s on defense or offense with just Barris and Basla, destroys GML. It's destroying stuff right now because if you have a protection Datacron, because people don't seem to realize the protection amps up the other Jedi. So even Wet Noodle Barris will go in there and start smoking fools. It's ridiculous. Settle just wants to say, awesome. Thanks everyone for all your advice. I appreciate all of your expertise. Thanks for taking the time to help us out. Hey, it's what we do, man. Thank you for the compliment, myself, and of course the smarter panel. What else? 73 question: what 3 new marquees will we get for the GL layup?
I actually think GLA will be the next GL.
I agree. So what do we think are going to be the marquees?
100%.
Zori. You're gonna have Zori.
You think Zor's going to be a part of that for the GL layup? Okay, if you want to throw that in there, sure.
Well,
I
there's
don't know which
always
version
new
we get,
marquees.
right? Because I was thinking,
I think
No,
Andor.
you're gonna get
Even if it's a
Commander
past
Leia
version, they
or
can still use Zori.
you're
Okay.
gonna what was she? General Leia.
General
or
Leia,
you're
whatever
gonna-
you want to call her. Yeah.
That's the one you're gonna get.
Okay.
Do we think she'll be Resistance though?
I think she's
Like,
gonna
No,
be Rebels.
she'll be Rebel.
Yeah,
We don't
she
have a
wasn't
rebel
a
one.
general for the rebel, was she? She was
Yeah,
only
yeah,
a
for-
general?
on
They
Endor she
kind
was.
they kind of like loosely follow that stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Will she be a Jedi?
No,
because-
I don't think she will.
I mean,
Force
technically
user?
she
She's
had
Force.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and she
as
can't be an
general,
Ufu.
she can have the Jedi. Like she was trained as a Jedi by that point.
I think they would
yeah.
make her unaligned Force user, but I don't know if they would make her
We can't have
Jedi
Leia
because they don't want
Leia
that.
on
They
she
don't
would
want
not
that.
be unaligned Force.
Well, they don't
I
want to
don't
have
think
her
so.
linked with the Jedi.
No, she won't. She'll be rebel.
Yeah, it'll be Rebel, but I don't think.
So
yeah.
I want the rebel GL, but I could. I think they'll do rebel, but I could also see resistance just because Rey is not really resistance GL. She's a light
No.
side GL. There's no part in her kit that says resistance.
No, but she'll have
Other than
resistance
her
requirements because of the newer movies.
It could be. They also could go like Endor Han. They could throw Endor Rex in there. We can get another
Ewok.
Oh, for
Ewok.
requirements.
Yeah, Scout Trooper could be in there just as a dark
Yeah,
side
they can do the
requirement.
opposite side too.
Yeah. So
The
I
thing,
would
with,
love
the thing with Leia is she is encapsulates such a long time period
Yeah.
where you have so many options. Like they could throw in the Ewoks, they could throw in the Resistance, they can
Oh, they
throw in
will.
everything because she's been around for all of that.
I think it has to be Ewoks. For me, with the 40 years of Return of the Jedi, for me, it would be an Endor Leia. I know Space
Sure.
Leia, Mary Poppy Leia makes more sense, but I think they will try and celebrate Endor and celebrate Return of the Jedi. So I think it might be that version, and I think it would definitely be Ewoks around that. For marquees, I think you've talked about them. An Endor Han, always enough hands. Scout Trooper could be in there. I think there's quite a few. Yeah, I think they would just do more with Endor, to be honest.
yeah, I could see that. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but I just want Carrie Fisher to get some more love, man. I think
Oh,
it's GL for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, I
man.
want a good. I guess
I'm-
Boosh is a good Leia, but I want a good Leia.
Yeah,
I'm surprised we have not gotten a GL Leia. I'm
Yeah.
really surprised about that.
They have to pay stuff out.
yeah. You know, they got the big board and they've
Yeah.
got everything way pushed out, and I'm sure they had it on the board, but they're not going to move it forward. I would have liked to, especially after,
Well,
passed
yeah,
away,
after
yeah.
everything, yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see which direction they're going to go.
Which also going off of Carrie Fisher,
Hmm.
I have a bookshelf right next to me. She has two very good books. She has more, but two of them are very, very good.
Yeah, I never read them. I know what your book. I've
The
yeah,
Wishful
autobiography?
Drinking and the Princess Diaries, which is kind of behind the scenes of film and The Empire Strikes Back.
yeah.
very
Isn't
good.
that when she talked? Was that when she?
Harrison Ford, yeah.
Yeah, their affair,
Yeah.
which was I'm
Yeah.
like, that makes sense, man.
Yeah.
Hell, if I would have slept with Harrison Ford back in the day, man. That handsome son of a bitch. Kidding me?
Yeah, that's I
Yeah.
get you, Ranger.
Yeah, it's like Han Solo. I mean,
But it was a very,
not
they're
gay,
both
but
very
yeah,
good
let's
books.
go. Yeah.
Just saying.
I've always loved her interviews. Whenever she was doing any kind of talk show, and when you saw her at celebrations, she was such a riot, man. Her and Mark Hamill, man. I could just,
I really like to
Oh,
see
yeah.
them together.
Yeah,
like, it
that was
really,
so funny.
It really did kind of seem a little bit brother and sister.
Yeah,
Oh, it was,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
great,
and she
man.
describes that in the book as well.
yeah,
Her relationship with the different cast members.
yeah. That's so
And
good.
not
man.
not to like be a downer, but it's gonna suck when Mark Hamill goes. I'm not ready for that.
I don't think we're ready for any of them, man. I mean, they're all getting up in age, man. I mean, Ian McDermott, Harrison Ford, you know, all of them, man.
Mark
They're-
Hamill
I
will be
actually
really
started
hard.
watching my husband, he likes Yellowstone, so we've been watching. I've been catching up on that, but he also made me watch 1923, and I'm like, man, Harrison Ford's not doing too bad in this.
Oh yeah,
So-
Harrison Ford, man. And plus, we got the new Indiana Jones movie coming out this year. Looks good.
Filmed in Glasgow. I have been to
Oh,
the
was
set.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
filmed in
yeah, yeah.
Glasgow.
Oh, nice.
They turned Glasgow into Philadelphia, where the bank scene is.
Oh,
And they had
cool.
they kind of did it all up like
Oh my
1940s America. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was good. Anyway, filmed in Glasgow, as was parts of the Batman movie. Anyway, carry on.
Did you say Batman?
The new one.
Yeah, I could see, says Green Guster. He's saying, yeah, I could see her covering the gamut of different characters and stuff because she's such. I always thought that what they might do, and I don't know if they're going to do this, but she's Endor Leia. When she hits ultimate, she turns into, you know, Fleet Admiral Leia, in her dress and stuff, and starts doing Force shit. It's like, I thought that would be some kind of cool thing that they can do an homage to her, for, just to see the different versions of Carrie Fisher in that. You get Andor Leia, but when she goes Ultimate, she turns into Mary Poppins Leia.
You know who actually would be a very good marquee requirement?
Who was
for
that?
Carrie, like General Connix or Lieutenant? What was the one her daughter played?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
for
that would be
instance.
great.
Was it Lieutenant or
I don't
think
remember.
it was Lieutenant
She's low
Connix.
ranking, yeah, but yeah,
But that would be
absolutely.
like very nice.
So it would just be iconic. Whether and I know people how they feel about episode 8, but it's still it's Carrie Fisher, and it's just it's just her, and that's all I care about. Lieutenant Connix.
It was Lieutenant.
Look at contingent, man. Skewer's always on this shit, man.
I always get the titles mixed up, but I think that'd be really cool if she was one of the requirements for GL Leia.
Yeah, I think GL Leia would require, of course, the other Leias, right? But then
At least one of them.
Yeah, Princess.
They're already kind of required, though, right? All three of them are Georex. I mean, they could up the ante to Relic 7 or Relic 8.
Yeah, that's what they would do, right?
I do think they're really running out of trash characters. I mean, I think that that's why the only reason I'm thinking Ewoks is because that's basically the last faction they've not plundered.
Also, the only faction we haven't really been required
Ewoks are gonna be
to
part
relic.
of it. Yeah.
We haven't been required to relic them for anything.
No, they're
I
gonna
don't
push that.
know. Well, and I mean, if you really want to go full tin foil hat, they're required for this conquest, so maybe that's the first step.
That's what Carr said. He said that when we saw the requirements, I was like,
wait,
yeah, you
what?
did 14 battles with Ewoks, I think, in Sector 4 or Sector 5.
My Ewoks won't stay alive.
don't bother. Yeah. Well, the other one's going to be fun is the Fracture one.
So that kind of gives a hint of we're going to get a road ahead sometime in the next 3 months.
Yeah,
They're going to announce GL Leia. And
Ewoks.
the first requirements are going to be Ewoks.
Which I'm okay for, because actually Ewoks are a good team. The reason people don't invest is it's a big investment. You have to go really crazy on the modding and the team to make it viable. But with everything that we're having to focus on, especially for the new TV.
But what if the Ewoks get a lifter unit and that marquee is part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down
let's get
for it,
Princess What's Her Face.
Oh, Andor Leia.
Andor Leia.
Yeah.
No, not Andor Leia.
The Princess Ewok.
Kneasley.
I'm
trying to remember what her name is.
There's so many names.
Kanisa.
Yeah.
Princess Kanisa. She was the she's one of the main Ewok characters in the Ewoks series, television animated series from the 80s, and she's like Wicked's love interest.
I forgot about those cartoons and
there's your lifter
TV series. Oh my god.
There's your lifter and there's your marquee.
There you go, baby.
GL Leia.
Do 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 do.
That series is pretty fun. Like, I know it's like super old, but
it's super bad. I mean, it's so bad. It's just, but you have to respect it for what it is, right?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you grew up.
I enjoyed the holiday special though, so judge me.
Yeah.
And episode 1 is my favorite Star Wars content. So
that's okay. Well, you like what you like, man. Art's
low.
subjective, baby. I ain't gonna hate on you for it. I disagree with you, but I ain't gonna hate on you, man. You love what you love, right?
Yep.
Not a damn thing wrong with that. As I always said, episode 1, I watch Duel of the Fates till the cows come home. If I hear that music, holla, I'm like, yes, where are you? I will watch. Yes, get him, Darth Maul.
I'll watch any Star Wars movie well, I gotta watch Andor. I haven't finished watching it.
Shoot.
Oh my god.
I tried, like I told Ranger, I tried to watch it.
Off.
I tried to watch it on
so
a plane and it didn't go well. So
Okay.
maybe I'll watch it today since I'm not feeling well.
Yeah, watch it, Kate. I'm just, it's just gonna slow burn, and it's such a good burn, baby.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
such
watch
a
it
good
today.
burn.
I'll watch it today.
Such powerful moments, and I'm not gonna ruin anything for you, but oh my god.
Please don't.
So well, I would never do that, Kate.
It's good. It's quality. It's
So good.
and it really.
Oh, and I got Bad Batch to watch. I got a lot of TV to watch today.
Yeah,
Bad Batch is
actually, the first 2 episodes for Bad Batch, but episode 3 and 4 were 3 was powerful. 4 was just fun, but they're good character ones. They're doing some smart things with Bad Batch. They're starting to develop these characters and take these characters into a certain arc that I'm hoping that they
I'm
take.
still waiting for Crosshair to come to the game.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Crosshair.
I think we'll get him this year. I think They're going to use the TB. I think we're going to get him there.
I
think
agree
after
with
once
that.
Reva kind of boils down in maybe 6 or 7 months or something like that, his event's going to pop up.
They'll bring him into one of the
all
nodes.
Bad Batch Relicate or whatever.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. Do we think the next character they bring will it be in Phase 3, like with Relic 7, or are they going to try to push it to go Relic 8 for like a Phase 4 character? Or we'll have to push. Yeah, makes sense. It really does. Dark Side question: as new characters continue to be added, how would the panel feel if they went back and changed GL requirements? I feel like Trench is more of a Lord Vader requirement than Zam or Embo or Bad Batch.
You won't. That'll cause so much outrage.
No, there's no way you do that well.
No.
It is a good point though. It shows how it just sounds kind of like how the GLs kind of maybe made sense at the start, where they had Rey and Kylo and they had sort of sensible requirements. I think nowadays they're just getting a bit more comedy, where yes, you get the 3 new marquees or 4 new marquees, which kind of makes sense, but then you just get these random Tuskens and things like that. It's just, I don't know, it is a little bit a sketch, I would say. I think it's an interesting point that sometimes I think in 10 years time when we're still sitting here with GL Jabba the Hutt or GL Jar Jar.
Remember back in the day when we did Jabba?
I can't wait till Jar Jar comes to the game. That'll be
He's
so
coming too.
am going
He's
to
coming, Ranger.
Enough into the obscure characters.
Not from what I
He's
was
coming.
told.
You never know. You don't
never know,
ever
but
see
I've been
now.
told
Has a
differently.
2-year shelf life.
There's something
Everything
you need
they
to
say
tell
has a
us,
2-year
Ranger,
shelf
that you're
life.
not telling us.
Well, there's still in the 2-year one. Oh, I had Crumb on the stream, and I said, "What?" Because someone asked, like, "What are the odds of Porkin in or Gunga?" And he said, "Well, it's not 0 because you can never say 0%, but it's as close to that as possible right now." That was last year, so
He could just be saying that to throw you off.
Well, and I mean, things change for them so fast. Like they told us Jedi Knight Luke would be at the end of the game. They told us that vets would never get the resistance tag.
That's true.
There's a lot of things that they say that it's not in their 2-year or 3-year plan, and then eventually they do it.
Jar Jar would be so funny, though.
I think Jar Jar will.
He's gonna happen.
Me, they don't have a bomba.
He's gonna happen at some point.
It will. I think Ahmed Best needs some love too. I mean, not my favorite character. I take the hit.
Aldous, it was you who said it last week, right? That Jar Jar has the most lines throughout the movies that is not in the game, right?
Yeah, be something like 18th or 19th. There's only one that's higher, which is
we said it last week. I don't remember who it was.
Solo. Who's the guy in Solo?
Oh, Beckett. Yeah.
Beckett's the only guy. Yeah,
him and Beckett are at the very top.
And they're in like the top 20 of people with lines in the whole of Star Wars. So, you got to think that it's a bit of an omission. I think Darkseid's at a point. Yeah, so my only problem with making somebody like Trench is Trench will be a Conquest character, and they don't like making Conquest characters requirements for things because it then gates the GL away from people being able to buy it.
Especially if you can't do well in Conquest, and then the Proving Grounds are just a nightmare.
If you miss the Conquest, there's almost no physical way to get that character quickly or cheaply. Therefore, I don't think you would ever make. I don't think they'll ever make a Conquest character requirement. They'll always leave them as lifters and add-ons and special marquees.
If they do, it'll be like one of the super old ones that's been in Proving Grounds for like a year. Like they've done that occasionally. Like GK was a raid character that you couldn't buy, and then how many years after he came out, they're like, all right, he's going to be required for GMK. So.
Yeah,
but the problem
I don't think we Trench.
But there was so much of a gap in between that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, huge gap, like where everyone had it.
Yeah.
I think they'll look at the stats.
If it's an old character though, then almost everybody tends to relic the Conquest ones because they tend to be very good. So making it a requirement doesn't really get them anything. It almost just uses up a spot because people that have it probably already have it at Relic 7. So. Yeah, I think
they do that every now and then. Like they'll pick a character that everybody already has a Relic 7. Like Fennec for Lord Vader. Like almost everyone towards the end game had that, or not Lord Vader. Jabba.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jabba.
Yeah.
All right, Durgan. Oh God. Kate. Question for you from Durgan Gurgan. Says, "Hey Kate, do you know why Ewoks have outhouses?
No.
Because they don't have indoor plumbing. You may kill him at your leisure, Kate. You may murder him when you feel the necessity to hit you. So, yeah, go get him. Durgan. It's not Wednesday. It's not Dad Joke Wednesday. What the hell? Oh. He sees you when you're sleeping. God damn that lurker, Durgan. coming out of the bushes just to drop a dad joke on us. Well, it's a Star Wars dad joke, so I'll take it. Contingent question. When is the last time you watched the original 3? I watch them all the time.
It's
Fall
probably about a
asleep
There
to 'em
was-
regularly.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I gotta I turn on the TV and fall asleep to it, and I'll like regularly turn on those movies.
yeah, I mean, if I'm watching something, I mean, I do have a lot of binge watching, but it's been a couple years since I've watched them, but I've watched them so much, like the lines are just ingratiated. All the movies, the lines are just ingratiated in my head. You know, we have fun making quotes. I mean, I quote episode 3 all the time with, doing my Kenobi, another happy landing, Not to worry, we are still flying half a ship. Yes, shit like that. I love saying that. Chancellor Palpatine, Sith Lords are our speciality. It's like I do that.
I don't think I've watched them since. I think I watched them in the run up to. I think I watched all 3 in the run up to episode 7 coming out.
Oh my
Yeah.
And then
gosh,
I
all
think
this.
I watched Star Wars like about a year ago because it was randomly on. But I'm always surprised when I watch Star Wars, the first one, because it really nips along at quite a pace. When I first
Yeah.
watched it, I used to think, well, this is quite a long movie, goes quite slow, lots of scenes, but it really nips along. It kind of, I'm always amazed at how quickly you're through it. But yeah, really good.
I mean, I grew up with them, so I don't hate them or anything. Actually,
I remember I didn't have a sophisticated enough taste to enjoy Empire as a kid. I remember not really liking it. Like I much preferred Return of the Jedi was my favorite of the 3.
Sure.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean,
out of them, Return of the Jedi was my favorite.
yeah, for me, my top 2, and they're right next to each other, is Rogue One and Empire. So, and then right behind that is Episode 3. I just love those movies.
I think as a child, I never really understood why Empire Strikes Back didn't really have a happy ending.
Because it's the second movement in a 3-part play. That's why, if you think of Shakespeare, that's the way Lucas was approaching it.
As a little child, I never really kind of understood that when I was watching
I didn't like it.
It kind of came out going, hang on, what happened to Han? Han's kind of in it. Like you were a little bit like, hang on, was that half a movie? Did I sleep through the end? I was a bit kind of confused on it, I think, when I was very younger. It's very subtle.
Yeah,
it's good writing, but it went right over my head.
But yeah, the Empire is phenomenal, man. Ugh. Let's see here. Next question. Navju. Oh, there's our boy. Says, I just tuned in. What did I miss? Just kidding. How is Traya versus Lord Vader going for everyone about to give it a shot? I'm 50-50. It depends on the datacron they got on there and how much health still. And it's RNG. Because I'll kill the ads and I'll get to him. And you just gotta have that bit hit at the right time to take him out. If not, I'm 2-shotting it. I'll go in there and clean it up afterwards with something pretty easily. But it's like 50% for me, 50-50 on the win rate on that. Sometimes I take him out, sometimes I don't. Like I had one that I took out that had 400% defense. That was a nightmare. I got very lucky on that. But I had one that had like very little health still, but it had health still, and it just was enough for him to just keep me from getting that last sliver of, hit to get the one shot, So I don't know how you guys doing with the Lord Vader versus
I think I lost my first one this morning, and then cleaned up with Fennec. But yeah, I mean, so my record's about 80-odd%, I think. But like I say, I expect there to be an answer in the next week or two on it before we get around to 5s, whether they change it. So if they don't change it, or if there's no announcement, I might remod my Traya or my Purple Wizard for a little bit. I might remod them. Maybe Purple Wizard might get more potency to definitely land the heal block. I don't know. I'll probably look at it, but I might remod them ever so slightly.
Yeah.
It's only become consistent for me at like a relic disadvantage when I put there's a datacron from this set that it's a level 3 dark side that every single time you use a basic or your first turn or whatever, you get offense up. That closed the bridge for me, because before that I just didn't have enough juice. And I was consistently landing healing immunity, but Lord Vader was still able to hit ult, but even increasing his cooldowns, he was still hitting ult faster than I could work him down. And once he hits ult, he becomes immune to healing immunity.
Yeah.
So I was missing the offense, and my Traya is Relic 3, and so is my Nihilus. So, and they're not modded well. So I guess, but that was what helped me bridge the gap. I think you do genuinely just need, if you want it to be really consistent, your Sidious has to be landing healing immunity, and you have to have a decent amount of offense to help bridge the gap. But I mean, I beat an R9 Lord Vader that was modded well last night with my R3 Traya.
Yeah.
Like if you can put the investment in, it'll work.
That's what I'm doing right now because I want that 50-50 to go up more in my favor. Even if they change the Omicron, I'm still going to work on. I need him anyway for TB, so I'm going to be on a dark side Relic 7 kick here for a bit. You know, after Hondo, I mean, I'm just hoarding impulse detectors because I'm about to do a bunch of Relic 8s as well. So it's going to be, you know, I'll farm the other characters. Like I'm farming the droids and Swordy and stuff, just normal. I'm not rushing them or anything. Sana's not out yet, but when she comes free to play, I'll farm her ass too. But yeah, it's once Hondo's done, it's all relics on the dark side, because the reason that we noticed it in my guild and a lot of guilds is like this: the battles in the new TB, I'm crushing light side and middle zone. Not a problem, because I've got a lot of those characters that I can, especially now that I took Cartel and Inquisitors and stuff up, that's fine. Dark side's lacking just relics. I got relics on them, but they're not relic 5 to 7, because we had dark side GOTB and you didn't need the higher relics like you did for light side GOTB. So a lot of people's accounts for relic levels are very much weighted toward the light side than the dark side in most cases. And there's our exceptions, but yeah. So I was looking at that, and a lot of us were like, yeah, I got to start getting on that Relic 7 train on these goddamn dark side characters to do some good work, and especially phase 2, 3, and 4 for where we're at with our stars. Yeah.
I do think
so many relics to add.
I know. Hey, we're all so rough.
I do think, though, when we go back to 5s, Traya is going to get what's the red one? Talon and Scion back as well, and that makes the counter for the red girl. That makes it a lot more consistent. So I think 3s is more sketchy than 5s, so that's why I think they might look at it in 5s. But yeah, so Talon make it better, because Talon will give you the boost every time they hit her, I guess, on offense. So.
Yeah.
The ability block helps too, because if you can keep him from using a special where he's gaining like 60% ult, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Being honest, I haven't been using Traya. I've been using Bounty Hunters with the Revive Cron.
you can.
And that's actually been way more consistent.
Yeah, it depends on what they've got in there, but
Well,
yeah.
no, I've been using that with them having Maul and Royal Guard.
Yeah,
If they have
3,
Maul
yeah. I mean, yeah.
and the protection up, then my bounty hunters can't do it, because I either need
Yeah, that
Bam
protection one is
to
rough.
handle Maul.
I've
or I
been
need
fine.
Embo
It
to-
just takes
to
a
beat
little
the
bit, but
protection
it's
up.
been fine.
Yeah, it's not it's still good. I've used it too, Kate. You know, I love Fennec. I'll use her whenever I get a chance. So, but yeah, that protection cron with Hell Steel, man. Oof.
If they don't have Maul, then you can just take Embo and it's super easy. But if
Yeah.
they have Maul and that, I can't. My bounty hunters can't do it. He gains protection up way too consistently.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. Even it's not always 100%. Now as a cleanup, yeah, she'll go in there and just kick his
Oh,
ass.
easy, yeah.
And that's an easy quick cleanup on Lord Schmader. So there you go. All right, was that our last question so far? Yeah, that's our last question. So get your questions in. We'll go for a little while longer here. If you have a question you want to pose to myself or this wonderful panel, please do. So make sure you put the word
can I ask
question.
a question?
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
Conquest
Calvin said
also?
no. Sorry, we can't.
Okay, no. Calvin, thoughts on the Conquest feat? You excited? Or well, anyone? I mean, I think Conquest. I'm looking at the feats now. We obviously talked about the Ewok one. It looks okay. It doesn't look too bad.
Gotta find them.
Conquest?
Yeah, the Conquest feats.
Yeah,
Download
I like Conquest in general, so I'm pretty,
Yeah, so
I'm
do
pretty
I.
pumped about it. I already know which ones I'm not doing. I looked at it and I was like, all right, so I'm not doing Ewoks, and I'm not. There's one of the 40 battles one too is with a faction that I just do not have ready. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
It's Separatists and Sith. So no, 40 battles is going to be easy. Oh yeah, there's 40 battles without a leader in the leader slot. That's going to be easy.
Yeah, just go to phase 1 and just do G.
How was it data mined?
I've
I don't know,
got
I'm
it,
looking
Kate.
at
I'll
it
send
here.
it to you.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It looks okay. I mean, I think that there's 40 fractures in Sector 5, so Thrawn's going to be doing added work.
I mean, that'll just be like the torture one on this last one. You just went into the treasure node with Inquisitors and hit auto 40 times. Like it's annoying, but it's very easily doable.
I think there is win 20 battles with Triple O and BT1 in your squad, which doesn't say they need to survive.
They don't have to survive, yeah.
But if they don't need to survive, then I can just go in against any GG team.
Yeah, I'll
with
just farm it. Yeah, I'll just go farm the Datacron stuff with them.
SLKR and those two idiots just get killed, and then you win the 20 battles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it looks okay. I mean, I don't see anything that's going to scare me. I'll be interested to see if they make the bosses harder for my GG. Because GG is the one I've been using for the win without a Jedi, Sith, or Ufu. So...
Well, I use Bad Batch, so...
Yeah, okay, Bad Batch, yeah. Bad Batch GG or Imperial Troopers, but
yeah.
Those have been relatively easy so far.
Yeah, I'll use Grievous for all the mini boss fights and stuff. Just knock out battles and get that one done. The feats are fine. I mean, Conquest, I just find... I like some of the fights and battles and stuff, but it's just... for me, it's just monotonous. It's just, you know, especially when you're doing the same fight over and over again. It's not, I don't enjoy it just sitting there, auto and wait, do it again, auto and wait. Great, what fun I'm having. Oh, let me do it again, auto and wait, you know, because you're just trying to knock out these 40 fights, you know. But I spread them out over time, so I'll try to be, when I'm doing Conquest, I'll see what the big feats are. I'll use those teams first as I'm going through, and also what the sector feats are, and try to tile that in together so I'm knocking out multiple feats. Doctor the sector feat as I'm knocking out big feats if I can at the same time with the battle. So I will be very specific on the teams. And once we figure it out through the first one, then the second and third one is just, you know, replay what you just did. Fun. Yeah. So
yeah. I mean, I'm doing a competition with my little channel. Anyone join? How fast can I get 100 banners? And I'm having everyone just send me the time. So, you know, amount of minutes it takes you to get from 0 to 100 banners.
Ooh, that's fun.
And just having a little leaderboard, you know, so anyone in chat here, anyone wants to kind of send them in, or any other content creators want to join the same idea, I think it's a kind of fun thing just to make Conquest a bit more community focused. Yeah, I'll do it probably live on my channel. You don't need to start at 0, so it's not like how fast you get there. So you can start if 8 hours in, 10 hours in, whenever suits you. But just the time you start to the time you hit. There will be endless cheating with people submitting nonsense times, but we'll refine that. But yeah. But yeah, that'll be you. But no, I just think it's a fun, because I just think Conquest just needs a little bit more of a pet, a little bit more of a leaderboard, and the Conquest excitement as a community, I think. So yeah, that's kind
to
of...
me, it's a means.
It was fun when it first started.
Yeah. Although I did enjoy this last Conquest because I had all those data discs for the, man, seeing Padme do 2 million damage just made me giggle over and over again. My God, I had 4 of those 54.2 support discs, whichever one the name, I can't think of the name of it, but I was just giggling because Seven Sister, Padme, Barriss on the Jedi team, they were just doing ridiculous damage, and I was just dying, man. Like,
so just me, or a lot of these feats the same as the last one?
Some are same, some are the same, yeah, or similar, yeah. All right,
I mean, Conquest suits me because I have time. So I think anyone who has time to kind of do battles, it kind of suits them. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like it.
Oh God, win 20 battles with the 2 droids in your squad. Mine are like geared.
They don't have to survive. Kate. Yeah,
they don't have to
survive.
They
don't. Usually they. Okay, good.
So
I'll just put them with JMK.
Yeah, and then just go in there.
With JMK, Cat,
Sector 1, go get some Datacron material. Just hit push auto, and then just
I was about to say, like, that's not gonna go well for me.
Neil Ovens Smith says, question, how would you feel if 3v3 was added to another game mode? Would that make people hate 3v3 GAC less and bring some variety to the rest of the game, or just be more of an annoyance? I don't know.
Depends who you ask, but I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I wouldn't be opposed to it either.
I think the general, it's such a, the grass is always greener, because people are, the big complaint about 3v3 is that it's only exists in this game mode. It's not real. It doesn't
but what if they took it to TW?
And then they start adding it to stuff, and people are like, why are they doing this? We never liked it.
Yeah.
But what if they added it to TW?
So I think that would go over really poorly unless
unless
they kept the 50 teams.
Yeah.
Unless they kept the
If
same
they
amount
kept
of teams.
50 teams and moved it to 3v3.
I still think it would be primarily negative, but I think we would eventually get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subtle dagger question. Is it important for any Starkiller requirements to have 60 mods? Oh, yes. Mary Jade, for sure. You need speed on her beautiful red gingivitis ass. Kyle Katarn, yes, because you need him about 280 speed and hitting like a truck. Dash. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
But didn't they say
Yeah,
for
you
the
do all
event?
this.
For the event.
Oh, you know,
Is it
okay.
the event or in general?
It's just requirements to have. Oh, for the event. Oh, I thought it was just in general.
It doesn't say event. Is it general or event?
Yeah, general.
I'm pretty sure it's
Oh,
in
for
general,
the
'cause
requirements? No, you just go in there and just do the fights, right? I don't think I had any 60 mods.
Yeah, no,
when
it's
I went
not
in there.
very
I had
No.
some, but yeah, for the
In
event.
general.
Oh, in
Okay.
general,
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
yeah, they need certain modding for the teams that they're in, right? I just mentioned a couple, but I mean, like Dash, you want him 350 speed, hitting like a mother trucker when he hits, right? You know, some potency because you want some of those that.
The reason why I disagree a little bit in Calcatarn, he is a brilliant character, but if you've got him in a Mon Mothra team, then he's getting too easily countered by Wampa and Aiden at the moment, and
In three,
yes, him hitting harder makes him better, but for me, yes, putting 60 mods is better. I totally agree Mara Jade is a definite, but he is a bit more sketchy for me if you're not on the button.
But I think you don't need, like, I don't like this idea of, like, oh, this character needs all 6-dot mods. Like, all right, if he's an attacker, you know, give him the triangle for crit damage and give him the square or whatever. But, like, I still have really good characters, like JML. I'm pretty sure my JML still has a 5-dot mod because it's a protection primary. Like, it's... I don't really know if... Or, like, I don't know if Lord Vader has one, too. But, like, some of these... It's a mod-by-mod scenario. It's not just this character needs 6 dots.
Well, it's always the 16 does make a difference, and as you get them higher up, that does make a difference. Those stats start stacking on one another.
Dash maybe 6Es.
I think
I'd go Dash maybe more than Kyle.
Well,
I'd
Dash
go
you want for the ship.
Mara, Dash, Kyle, Talon would be my order.
I mean, certain characters you can get away with, you know, if you just have 5A mods and they're good mods. But depending on the type, like if you're looking for a character that needs that offensive smacketh, you know, you're going to want to get those characters mods to 6E. That extra percentage of offense makes a big difference, right? If you're doing Fennec and you need those characters to have, if you're going to use it, like say against Lord Vader, you need Fennec doing her spinning back bird flick kick to his head, and you need that damage hitting hard. You know, her if you get her around 12,500 special damage, I mean, that's huge, you know, with what she does. You know, there's certain stats you want to hit, but if you're doing it without 6E, great, then you're good. But if you need that extra push for damage and stuff, and the more you can get on them, the better. But that's a big ask, right? Because in a perfect world, we would be able to take all our mods to at least 6E because we have the materials enough at our disposal, but it's a slow process. I always talk about this when I'm doing mods. I just pick a squad and I just focus on it for a week or two and just get it not only 6E'd, but sliced and stuff, so I have the right stats that I'm looking for, and then I don't have to think about the characters anymore. Pretty much, now you can always have to go back and do a little remodding if stuff changes in the game, but yeah. It depends on the character. Some characters it does make a difference, though. But it's a big ass. It really is, man. Mods, man, we're just always doing mods. It's just endless. No matter how much I do, I'm sitting there like, man, I just took, like, I did all my Inquisitors and they're dope as shit and they got great mods. And I got done, I'm like, oh, I can do this, the Triumvirate now. Just start getting those materials. Let's start slots of all these 60 mods. Christ in heaven. Okay, any other question? No, I don't think there's any other questions.
Maximus, do you think CG will never give us a quality of life update where we can search characters by Omicron? Maybe.
Can't you? No, I don't think you can right now, right? It's stats. You can look up certain stats, but not specific. Yeah.
I still want to be able to sort them by relic level.
That would, that would be nice. I just want ship loadouts.
I don't. I mean, I honestly switch about my ships too often. So I know everybody says ship loadouts, but for me, it wouldn't be something I would prioritize at all because I'll frequently take in, because if I'm taking First Order against Executor, it's a different lineup. If I'm taking it then against what's the one, Rebels or Akbar, so I don't know, I would have to have a million loadouts for, right, this is Executor versus this, or this is First Order versus this, and this. So I don't know. I think I would be equally as likely to pick the wrong loadout. I'd rather be able to name my Datacrons and just call them, this one's GG, this one's Lord Vader, because I accidentally used them, and I therefore I don't have my Wampa Datacron because I accidentally stuck it on someone else.
Literally happened to me.
Oh no,
TW defense.
Yeah, no. Navju question. We'll make this last question. Start wrapping up a little bit early today, unless we get a couple more. But question is: anyone on board with platoons for GSC or TW to deal with expanding rosters? I can't take adding any more squads for territory. It just takes too long as is. Is anyone on board with platoons for GSC or TW to deal with expanding rosters?
I know what he's saying. Yeah.
I like the picks and bans TW they did. I know it was hideously, everybody else hated it. But everyone hated it because they basically removed certain characters from TW at anyone's round. I actually liked that as a format. I know everybody hated it, but I liked it. And I think that's kind of, I don't know. I think they are struggling. I think they are struggling at the moment with expanding rosters, because I hope they don't just make a lazy decision of increasing again. But I think with people like Java, like we've had the same map for a long time, and they brought out a lot of new teams that will counter GOs.
Yeah, and it's condensing TW where it's just like GOL, this team, and it's like, it's I wouldn't mind at upper levels. Like, it depends on what level of where you are at and fighting at, the expansion of teams. I know higher echelon guilds would be okay with another zone or change of the map of, adding an additional zone or something just to change it up. But in regards to what you said, the taking away of characters and some of the ridiculous stuff they did in that, just don't take shit away from players, especially when you ask them to spend that kind of money and go about that much time farming those characters and stuff. If you're going to do anything, expand it so they can use more of their roster. That's what this game is. It's a character thing. So don't do that. I'm happy for expansion, but taking away from anybody that busts their ass and spends money to do something, just
for GAC, I'd rather have like a mixed board.
Yeah, it would be cool. I wouldn't be. Maybe it's like a.
Kind of like mix stuff up. It will be like some stuff 3v3, some like one territory 5v5. Mix it up that way.
That would be kind of fun. I could see that one being, just to change it up a little bit, because it's kind of the same thing over and over again. It just comes down to datacrons and the same teams, and we see the same stuff over and over again. And can you get through it? If not, then your day is pretty much short, and then you just move on with your life.
We're in a repeat pattern right now and need something kind of different.
I think Datacrons really were their solution to the expanding board too, because now we have all these kind of like mid-range teams like Sortie, Mon Mothma, and Sana that are coming out, where you, again, if you have a maxed out roster, you're probably not using them, but the second they get the Datacron, they get pulled in. Like Mon Mothma's Datacron definitely pulled her in, so there's kind of a way. I think they've already kind of found a solution to that, and honestly, even Trench's kit is another solution to that, where they're forcing you to, all right, you can either run the good trench team, or you can use C with Watt and with GG. So they're kind of making you pick and choose while not necessarily disrespecting your investment.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. But just literally taking like they did, like you can't use these teams as characters.
Yeah, the banning was bad. The banning was bad.
I still liked it. I think they did it on too extreme. I think they took away too many. And I liked the fact they tried it. I mean, it wasn't popular, everybody hated it, but I liked the way that they pushed the boundaries. I'd like to see them do that more. I know they get criticized all the time, but have a go at, like you say, like Kate's idea about giving us season 5. Try it. Let's see what happens. Get some data on it. So yeah,
people are gonna complain no matter what you do anyway.
Yeah,
but sometimes it's. So Aldous, actually, fun fact, did a survey of everyone from SWGOH, and you're right, Kate, like, we found out that 7% of the population, or at least they did a survey, hated everything that happened in 2022. It doesn't matter, not just Datacrons, but Omicrons and the mod changes and everything. They just enjoyed nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the old
7%.
it's the old Zig Ziglar.
But they're also the vocal ones, like the people like
Yeah.
me who I'm like, whatever, I really don't care. We're the quieter ones, and we're just like, whatever, I play this for fun.
Yeah, I mean, usually the loudest in the room is the ones you're like, okay.
We were talking about the start of the stream, sorry Ranger, about how actually I feel that content creators are now enjoying the GACs more. Win or lose doesn't matter. I don't know. There just seems to be there's more enjoyment when I stop in streams and watch, which I quite like.
That's just because I enjoy the community so much. It doesn't really. I mean, GAC is just the catalyst, the tool. Because GAC for me, and I usually go 6-3. We usually win more than we lose, but I'm just enjoying, being goofy and hanging out with the folks, man. That's all I really care about now because I've done GAC so much. It's, and like last night, I knew I was going to get stomped. So we had fun. There was no point, but it wasn't the GAC I was having fun with. It was the community and interacting with them that I enjoy the most. That's that makes it fun for me. It's like, and laughing because you can't take it seriously anymore because it's like, let me go see what's going to happen here. Yep, I got stomped, and we start laughing because it was horrifying. But that's all you can do. That's okay. Oh, we're gonna use Padme versus Inquisitors. He usually works pretty well. All right. Oh, we just missed killing one, and they're taking a turn. Oh no. Uh-oh. This isn't going well. Oh no. Okay, and I'm dead. I couldn't even hit the forfeit button fast enough. It's like, oh shit. So yeah. Yeah, I know. Nathaniel Morgan says, Ranger, go 6-3, get squished, rinse and repeat. I just saw the cusp of Kyber 1. I go 6-3, and then I get squished. I'm like, well, I'm right
I go
back.
on like really big winning streaks, but then I'll go on a really big losing streak.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kinda how it goes.
So, but yeah, I mean, at this point, unless they change something drastically in GAC, it is what it is. Even with the Datacrons get set in there, but it's a matter. I can't get them fast enough, so I'm a little behind the curve. Now this next Conquest will substantially increase my Datacrons to level 9s. I mean, the last guy I faced, he had so many level 9s on every character. This last fight was horrifying. I mean, I was just looking at some of the stats, and he had re-roll too. I was like, this is definitely an 11 million plus account. This is dope.
Well, going off of what Aldi said too, yes, more of the content creators are happier, but there's also significantly less. And I think the game has weeded out a lot of the ones that weren't enjoying it. So,
which makes sense. Like if you don't really enjoy playing the game, maybe like the vast majority of the time, maybe you probably shouldn't be playing anymore. Not even because I don't want you here, but because that doesn't sound like a fun way to
well,
live.
so
Yeah.
I've always told myself, I'm like, the second I stop enjoying this game, I'm done.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah,
too.
same.
This isn't my full-time job. It shouldn't be. It should never come before real life. And the second that it feels like it's a second job, which I mean sometimes it does, and I don't enjoy it, I'm done.
I also have a lot of community members that are no longer spending and have really or massively dialed down because there really isn't a pressure to be. There isn't really a pressure to be in Kyber 1 anymore because actually they're slimming that down. People are getting buffed out. People are just enjoying where they are and actually probably bringing the balance back to real life, like Kate says.
It's flipped. That's a really good point.
Spot.
It's
in a
flipped.
good spot, I think.
The veteran players are on. Someone wrote this to me that I think it was Whitefly. He was saying that this game feels like for the veteran players, we're on chill mode right now because Karth said it the other day. We're not getting past 36 stars, maybe 37, but we're going to be at that stage for a while here in TB. We'll work on the characters and stuff, but we need another 120 million GP just to get to that next phase, right? That's a huge amount of GP for a guild. To get around 600 million just to be at where some of the top end guilds are to do like phase 4 and stuff. That's going to be a hot minute before we can do that. But where they're making their money and where they're focusing where CG is focusing is more those newer players. They want that new blood. So you see a lot of their advertising and stuff that they're doing is geared toward those early to mid-tier players that are still trying to play the catch-up game or starting to that are still, this game isn't like we've been like, for me, 7 years plus playing it. They have packs, they have good stuff in there, I can go get it, but if you look at where they're focusing their efforts, it's at them, because they're spending a lot of money. Like, if you see where the money's being spent, 2 places: Datacrons for high level, and that's starting to do a lot because people are just tired of it. But mid-tier new players, I mean, you're seeing these accounts that just like skyrocketing through GP because they're spending massive amounts of money in this game. These 4 million plus accounts, 4 to 7 million, they're really putting some resources in the game, and that's why you see CG with those packs coming in. So yeah, they'll do stuff for us, but we're on cruise control. It feels like it. That's a really good observation, that we are kind of in the place like, okay, no pressure. If I want to spend, I can, but I really don't need to. It is what it is. I'll keep working on my relics, but that's going to take time. I'll work on it slowly.
Yeah, it's also cruise control just because we know there's so much stuff, and it's like, do you really want to spend all that money? Like, it would cost an insane amount of money for me to finish all the relic levels I need, everything I want to get caught up on, to get Afra done. But I'm like, it's gonna take a while. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm kind of on the cruise control, like, where it's like, yeah, I'll get there. Yeah, I play at a high level, but they're not pushing it. Like,
yeah,
I mean, to have this done by, Java was a little bit different in profundity because they're like, all right, you should have this. They didn't give me a deadline or anything, but like, okay, you should go for that, which it's like, you're playing at the high end, you should know, like, yes, you probably should have that.
Yeah, like Dr. Afra,
I'm not rushed with Afra.
Yeah, same. I'm not rushed. I mean, Hondo, yes. I mean, Hondo's fantastic, and I want him for the
Hondo's like 6 stars for me still, because I've had too many relic requirements, and I'm like, he's a Cantina farm, so he'll get done quite easily. So I'm like, all right, when my droids get up to like almost 7 stars, then I'll finish Hondo.
Yeah, see, what I did is I took Hut Cartel, the Inquisitors, and then the requirements I had for Relic 8, because I was lucky that I had a lot of Relic 7s and 8s in my account already. A lot of Relic 8. So I was okay with that, but those 2 teams I had to get ready for this TB, right? We want Reva Shards, and you want to be able to do combat missions, especially with the Hut Cartel, because that middle zone is where you use that team. But then after that, after I did the 2 Relic 8s that they needed for platoons for Phase 4, I'm like, I'll do Hondo now. And then once Hondo's done, then it's all in, like you're saying, Kate. Let's start getting them dark side Sith and stuff up to Relic 7. Let's go. I need to work on it.
I have like a huge, my main focus, right? Well, I'm farming the Jabba alt tickets, which is taking a while. So it's like, I've been working on the one droid is on the dark side, so I've been farming him, but I'm also like making sure I get the other droid as well. And Sana's not available, so I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's still gonna, whatever she is, it's gonna take me a while after that. I'm not gonna get her done right away. Yeah. No matter if she's Cantina, light side, dark side, or fleets. So I'm kind of just like, it'll get done when it gets done. It's not like Afra is like game breaking.
No. So, and from what I gathered from the people in our guild, that the big spenders, the big accounts, as long as you have a couple of those for platooning and stuff, that's all you really need right now, because you're not gonna, until everybody else catches up to get into Phase 4 and Phase 5, which is gonna be Relic 8s and then Relic 9s. As long as you can meet those requirements, get your 36 to 40 stars, that's where we're going to be for a while. I mean, that's not going to change. Our main focus is Reva, getting the best rewards we can, but you can't inflate your GP unless you spend a buttload of money.
Like my focus right now for the relic stuff is actually Kira, Young Han, and Young Lando to get 3 currency. And then it's like, all right, then I got to bring all my Geos up to Relic 7. I have to do Candy because of the Datacron. I have a whole list, and I'm just like, it'll get done at some point.
Yeah, eventually we'll get to it. I'm working on Candors too right now. He's one of the characters. I just reliced him, but I haven't taken him up higher relics because like...
My Candy's Relic 5.
Yeah, see, I only had him at Relic 0, but I have not been able just to go because what I did with the other characters. I'm like, yeah, Inquisitors, Hut Cartel, then we'll go back and get Candy Spieler.
Yeah, I want to finish Kira and at least Young Han, because I think they're the ones that are towards the beginning of the
Phase 2 that you need. Those
they're in the beginning of TV. So I was like, all right, Relic 5, that's not that bad. I'll do that, and then I don't know.
Yeah,
probably Candy.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, just pick a project, man. Like for me, it's Hondo, which will be done tomorrow because I'll do the Cantina pull today, the Cantina pull tomorrow. He'll be done. I'll relic him. getting them on the board so I can use them in a special mission with Dash and get some more combat missions done. But other than that, it's just getting these dark side characters Relic 7 so I can do more effective combat missions. I mean, you can kind of get away with some of your characters that you have through Geonosis with the GLs that you have, especially if you have all 3. But then when you get to the Night Sisters, oh boy, that's an ugly fight, man. Holy God. I did the Inquisitors because I had already done the previous day. We did the Reva mission. I got the Reva shards. So I had Inquisitors and I went and fought the Night Sisters. Oh my God. That fight took 30 minutes. I won, but it took 30 minutes because unless you have certain characters that can do certain things. Oh my God. I do not need my Kit Fisto. Get the hell out of here, Nathaniel.
I actually have Kit Fisto on the to-do list. He's just very low. He's on there, but he's not high.
That is going to be quite a trip to the toilet I have if it's a 30-minute battle.
I just couldn't get down to one character. I just couldn't get that fun. And then they'd revive back. I'm like, here we go again. You know, it's like, oh my God, this is this game that never. I was like, if this wasn't for we needed this, I would have been like, oh no, the game crashed. Darn. Oh well, I tried.
I love that like everybody's used that excuse
I
at
know.
some point in their lives.
I never have because it actually has happened to me so much.
I don't have to. It just happens anyway.
Especially when you're using BlueStack as a consecrator, you'd be like, all right, we're going to go do this fleet in TW.
My game froze up on a Java alt battle, and it was awful. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I will tell you, Kate, that $4.99 pack, if it's available to you, that gives you the 100 tickets and plus the extra energy.
Just get them through the weekly shipments.
No, the better deal is that $4.99 one because you think about it, you get 100 burritos.
I know.
And you get energy that you can use toward getting more burritos. And it made a huge. I mean, I knocked out Jabba's ultimate with doing what I bought 3 of them, and I
just let me take my good old time.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying. But if you want to get value for your buck, that's actually one of the packs that I will push because when that came out, I thought it was. Someone said
still there.
It should be if you have a character you're working on. It should be there.
Mm.
You should see it in the store for $4.99.
100% Thrawn Hub was there. I quite clearly had a BlueStacks crash during my Reva attempt. 100%. 100% I didn't fail it. It was definitely a BlueStacks crash.
Wait, is that an excuse or it actually happened?
Okay, don't tell my guild. We did it. Okay, because I didn't. Okay, so I didn't have the blue guy. And therefore I was doing without the blue guy, and all the guilds used the blue guy. So I was trying without him, and then suddenly everyone died. So we just messaged the guild and said I had a BlueStacks crash. It was fine. No one knows. Just don't tell Go Cubs. It's fine.
Too late. Now he knows.
You better hope he doesn't see this.
He won't watch this. It's fine.
He watches this. He will see it. Yes, he does.
Too funny.
No,
yeah,
but
anytime I ever fail anything for the guild, I just tell them I had a BlueStacks crash, and they're like, "Oh, that's terrible."
See, I've never used that excuse because it really happens, and I'm just sitting there going, "You've got to be kidding me, man! Holy God, that's horrible."
Never happens to me. I still use it as an excuse.
It's still, even though, and I do it all the time. Like we'll do a couple battles.
That's lying, Aldous.
Yeah, you.
It's not lying.
It's
stretching the truth.
Yeah.
Stretching the truth. I have had a BlueStacks crash at some point. At some point in time, I have had a BlueStacks crash. Just not during that when I just failed. But I just tell them that, and it's fine. They don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've had one where
stream when they're asleep. It's fine.
Yeah, it's either the game lags and it starts going, it just freezes, or it's going like, I don't know what happens with BlueStacks. The frames just go out the window, and you're just like, well. If I put on auto, will it still win? You're just praying it does, but 99% of the time it doesn't. The game just completely crashes. It just goes, poof. And you're just like, what?
Can't tell you how many times it's happened recently.
Yeah, or it just completely freezes. Like you're just doing a battle, and all of a sudden, like, click. Click.
If you do.
Lately, it's been like they just go super slow motion, and I'm like, all right, I've been here for like a half hour now. I went and did work around my house and it's still stuck. So yeah.
You can improve that. You can set it to a priority 5 so that it never robs. So when I play, my BlueStacks and my OBS is priority 5, I think.
Where is that at? Where is that?
It's in. I think it's
Task
in
Manager or whatever.
Yeah, Control Alt Delete, and then go into Task Manager, and then go to Processes. And I think if you right click on them, you can set the process. Because what ultimately happens with BlueStacks, I'm going to be quite boring here, is BlueStacks uses a ton of RAM. Not the content creator. And very often, the problem with Windows and Google and other things is it has an automated check of its system every so often. When it goes into that, it starts draining RAM, and therefore it will drain from the lower priority stuff like BlueStacks and OBS.
Gotcha.
So if you set BlueStacks and OBS to its maximum, it'll never steal from BlueStacks or OBS. So your stream won't crash and your BlueStacks shouldn't crash.
So if I put
actually
this
really good to
as
know.
resource value.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to find it. I think it's something like your resource value. I think it is, and you'll need to have it running to be able to do it. So if you're not on BlueStacks, it works. But yeah, so you jump on there. Resource values, yes.
Under what? Memory, disk, network?
No. It's not in that menu. It is in
Details?
I don't know. It's in here somewhere. Maybe details. Yeah, details. I think.
Performance.
Yeah, details set priority. So see inside details, then set priority. You'll be able to set them to high, and therefore anything that shouldn't help. But can I just point out that my BlueStack still crashes if anyone from my guild is watching?
So I've got it real time, high, above normal, normal, below
Just go
normal,
high.
low.
High should do it. Like I say, that just means that when it's going through the stuff, it will prioritize that as a high value process rather than stealing from it, which is what causes 90% of crashes.
This changes the priority, what could cause system instability. Will it
I didn't
cause
know
system
that.
instability?
No. They only tell you that because what they basically want is for Windows to be the highest priority, and that's why they keep running the auto scans to take all your information. Anyway.
It'd be funnier if it wasn't true.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, sorry, we did a little bit
It's
of tech
true.
stuff there.
I know, it's good.
What he's saying is correct.
See, you learn a lot here. Jedi. You learned about RAM, processes, breakfast cereals, and all kinds of things.
How to fix BlueStacks.
Every
Last
time that I've had
Jada.
BlueStacks crash now after doing what Aldous just said is if you just leave not BlueStacks open, but if you leave the specific app Galaxy of Heroes open for like 10 hours at a time.
Yeah, I do
That's
that
the
all
only
the
time it'll
time.
have
That's
to
why I always
crash, 'cause then
refresh
it's-
before doing something. Yeah.
I never close the app anymore, but I never close the BlueStacks app, but I have to close the Galaxy of Heroes app every once in a while.
Helenex, last thing we'll say before we get out of here says, can you please pass the message along to Mr. Crumb? Next time you speak with him for me, tell him, where's the PC port of SWG already? Jeez, golly, Jar Jar Binks, man. I will pass that along. Crazy lurker. All right, we're gonna let these wonderful people pimp their stuff. Do me a favor as we get on out of here is support these great content creators. You know, they come here on their own time and their own dime to basically be here and answer your questions, give you the knowledge that you need. So the easiest way to show them some love is to visit their channel, subscribe, watch their stuff. It does make a difference. Every little bit, and it matters. You know, it shows support for what they're trying to do. And if they're going to be here supporting what you need, you can do the same thing back. It's the simplest thing is to do for any content creator. If you can't do anything monetization wise, if you can't financially, just watch their videos, interact, leave comments. That stuff matters for algorithms and stuff and how they can make to get their content out to more people, you know, and things of that nature, and get more income coming in so they can continue to do the stuff that it pays off, right? And it just, you know, makes their work appreciated. So do that for me when you can. They're going to let everybody pimp their stuff. All this Sandfly, the biggest Sandfly on the beach. Where can folks be checking you out there?
Welcome to Sandflies on Twitch. We are currently 11 wins in a row in GAC. We are absolutely flying. I am the king of shippings. If you want to know anything about ships, Jesus, I can do every counter. Please go to me. Best shipping. I've been benching profundity because I don't even need it anymore. So I've wiped my last 3 people without even using profundity. Just sits on the bench. Not even on defense.
Use
just sits
profundity.
Here.
You get you 75. Come on,
we are
brother.
benching. We are benching the fish man because we
You're just trying to make things difficult.
But yeah, if you have any tech questions about streaming, give us a shout. I
Yeah,
know it all.
tech
But
support
yeah.
right over there. All the send fly.
Yeah.
SWGOH.
And I also did the Admiral Trench lore video this week, which I just had Chat GPT write. And then I read it out. And again, some of my cheapest content we've ever done. It's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, check that out too.
It's terrible content. Don't watch it.
You should. All right, Kate Game. Where can folks check you out there, Kate Gaming? Sick Kate Gaming today.
Twitch. What?
They're not feeling good. Sick Kate Gaming today.
Yeah.
You sound better though. That team must have done some
No.
good work. You don't sound as congested as you were.
That's because every time I've been walking away, I've been blowing my nose.
That would be why. Okay, I thought it was the tea. Okay.
I mean, it helped, but it also might be the medicine kicking in. But I've been on Twitch, KGamer_. I actually got back to streaming again, but I think I might skip today because.
Well, you're not feeling good. Go watch Andor. Yeah, stay in bed. Get
I will go
rest.
watch Andor instead.
Yeah.
I'm making soup. That's my
Oh yeah, good soup. Yeah, get some
homemade-
chicken noodle
homemade.
soup.
I was gonna do tortellini, I think.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's always good.
Mhm.
Yeah, and whatever soup. A little hot sauce in that. It'll get you sweating a little bit.
Ooh,
No, it's good. Just a little kick. Just a little kick, so
Ooh.
it gets a little spice, get you sweating a little bit, get that shit out of you. You know, that's what I do.
I'll just make another cup of tea.
And then put some hot sauce in the tea, and then drink that, and then get the
No,
sweat going,
just
and then
honey.
get that, get
No.
that shit out of you. You know, you gotta get that badness out, right? We don't want Kate sick. We want healthy Kate. Damn it. Just a thought. Hot toddies are always good. Yeah, I do. I haven't been sick in ages. Knock on wood.
I don't get sick often,
I don't either.
but when I do, I'm like down and out for a day or two, and this is
Yeah, I
day
get a
2
fever.
Right now.
Yeah, I get a fever. I eat something hot and start sweating
Yeah.
buckets. Take some codeine or something to get my fever spiking. So I
Yeah.
sweat it out, and then the next day I'm tired. But yeah. All right, Calvin. Awesome. Where can folks check you out?
So for those of you who like podcasts, make sure to check out The Mad Awesome Show on Spotify and iTunes,
Good.
where me and Tilo Mad, we talk about not only the game, but as well as some Star Wars in general type of stuff. Like we do review Bad Batch at the end of every show. So there is a spoiler warning before you get to that part. I also stream my GACs every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are a really good time. We're typically one of the first people to go and test out new counters. As well, I have my YouTube channel, just Calvin Awesome on YouTube. We're currently doing a few series, one of them being a mod shaming series where users from my community are going into my Discord and they're saying, hey, I need help with these 5 characters. What are your opinions? And then we go and we dissect that team in the YouTube video for everyone to learn from. It's been kind of a playful educational thing. So be sure to check that out. The last team that we mod shamed was Iden Versio.
Mm-hmm. And so as I said, go support these great content creators. Now for RSG, we got a lot going on right now. As you guys know, I'm now the new co-host of the Heinze Friday night stream. So that's been keeping me busy and a blast. If you didn't see it last night, it was chaos. It was anarchy. It was ridiculous. We didn't even finish GAC because we ran out of time. Heinze had to go be with his family, but there were shoeys involved, and I was doing the worm with Ram and Heinze. So if you didn't see that, yeah. And I picked the worst day to do the worm because I had just done my workout a few hours before where I did leg and back day. So when you're doing the worm, and I did a
Ooh.
great worm. I did the best worm. Easily did the worm perfectly.
Sounds
But
painful.
I stood up and I was like, I'm in pain. That was too much. I'm not as young as I used to be. So we've got that. We've got the lore series, and we're recording the next one, Star Wars Lore with Idiots. We've got 4 episodes out right now. We're making a big Patreon push. If we get to $1,000, not only will we do a Shivy of Mad Dog, Ram's going to be the lore host and do a lore series on video with the idiots, and I get to be it'll be fun on Mace Windu. And then we'll go to a weekly expansion of that, and I will start uploading it to iTunes as a podcast. People have been asking that, but you need resources to do that, and if we get to those benchmarks, then I'll take those resources towards that. Tuesdays is Star Wars The Old Republic with the boys, where myself, BCM, Karth, Rambam, we play The Old Republic. Right now we're inching our way up. My goal is to we just got through Terrace. The next planet I think we're on is Quesh, and then we do Hoth, and we're breezing through levels. And we're all playing the different dark side stories, so you get to see all that. And of course, we're a bunch of asses, so we make stupid comments and questions of each other. And then our normal SWGOH stuff. Monday through Thursday now is the lunch stream. You can come hang out, get a Ross review, ask your questions. We cover the latest content that's coming out. Wednesdays is the longest running live stream ever in the SWGOH community. Coming up on 7 years, which is crazy. I cannot believe I'm saying
Ranger,
that.
what about Tuesday? What are you doing Tuesday? What is Tuesday? The 15 hours. What is the schedule?
Yeah, so Tuesday I'm going to be doing an all-day stream for the Patreon push.
An all-day stream?
Yeah, so we're just going to go all day. I'll do mostly SWGOH, and then we'll do Old Republic with the boys. So it's going to be like a 12 to 15 hour stream. So yeah.
Oh, you gonna do Phasma?
We can, if you want to, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do Phasma.
Aldi plays too.
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday night.
Yeah.
After we get done with the boys, which is around 8 p.m. Eastern, which is usually the time the other people want to play, because I think Grim and them, usually want to be on.
Actually, I'll be much later. I'm going to a hockey game.
Yeah, just let me know. If we're still up, we'll do Phasma. I'm totally down for that. So, if not, then
I'm sure Grim will be around and Aldi might be around.
yeah, I'll wait
too.
till you. If we can get that done, we'll get that done. So I'm open to anything on Tuesday, but we're gonna make the big Patreon push. My goal is to get to 1,500, but I at least want to hit get over 1,000, because that way I can start expanding some of the stuff that we're doing and really start pushing the content. Because the reason I'm doing this is because we make dick doing YouTube. Anybody here can tell you, YouTube, you don't make shit unless you're like massive, so you got to supplement that somehow.
Yeah, not in representation of the amount of work it is.
No, I mean, and you guys know how much I stream. It's just
Speak for yourself, Calvin. Now I have ChatGPT writing all my lore videos in literally
Oh my gosh, dude.
20 minutes.
all right. Get a
20
room.
minutes.
That has
It's
changed
the
my life.
cheapest-
Jesus Christ.
It is the cheapest content I've ever put. Anyone watch how trash those videos are. Okay, I did an entire video on Zori Bliss where literally there was nothing of any sort, nothing, no substance at all. It was like random nonsense for like 4 or 5 minutes. If you want to watch random nonsense, go watch it. It is my most watched video on my YouTube channel. And it was done in 20 minutes. Literally, it's got even the worst editing possible. But yeah, you make nothing on YouTube. Well, obviously,
All right.
I don't. Okay, thanks. Bye.
The last thing I want to do, I want to shout out Contingent 33 guy. He was a big contributor to the Beskar Mando. The Beskar Mando costume. The only thing I'm missing now is the armor pieces themselves, which are on its way. It's just going to take a week or two to get them. But then the costume itself will be done. The only thing we'll be missing is we'll have all the armor. I've got all the under pieces. We got the cylinders for everything. That's in, the eggs in, but we need the rifle, the pistol, the jetpack, and the actual armor piece. So we'll have the entire costume here soon. And that was a big meow meow Contingent carve. They all got that squared away. Contingent just hooked me up because he knows that I use 2 tables and an old chair from 1920. Got me a new chair and desk. What can I say, man? The guy is unbelievable. He just said, go check your wish list. I'm like, what did you do now? Butthole. You got me again, dude. You're unbelievable, dude. So, this community, man. Christ. The shit they do, man. So, big shout out to Contingent. But I actually did the worm. I didn't break my PP doing it. I know how to do that properly.
Nothing beats Gom's dance with the pole.
He was in this chat yesterday, and I was giving him endless shit. Gom, the only man I know that can pole dance and break his camera. It was so crazy that nail came flying out of that thing, and out of anything it could hit, it hit and broke permanently the camera that was streaming. I just remember the ACS folks cracking up, like, how does that happen? What are the odds? Because he went like this to the pole, and just like he could swing that thing a million times at that camera and not hit it, but he just did it perfectly. Where his camera down, we could hear him. We're like, what happened? Like, you're not gonna believe this. I just destroyed my camera. Like, what? And of course, if you ever want to see the best worm, right? And I mean, just go watch Gon trying to do the worm where he's just rocking back and forth. He's not even. The best to me was someone did like a whale thing where he looks like he's like a whale doing.
Oh, the gif, yeah, that's so great.
Yeah, that was a really funny
Oh
gif.
man, I love that one.
Oh my god, I thought I was gonna cry, dude. Oh my god.
When is that stream of the Gom dancing?
That's
Is that usually like May?
No, it can be. Is it May? I can't remember if we do it. No, it's usually during the Christmas time when we do that big push there. We will
Is
have.
it? Did you just have it then?
In November, yeah, but Gom I don't think was available to do the worm. But remember, we were live in Florida at the store.
Yeah.
So yeah, and as many people as we had on, which I don't think he was available, but yeah. So yeah,
there was one in the like middle beginning of the year.
Yeah, we'll do another one where we just live stream. The big plan is with the armor and stuff. And Hello There hooked us up too. I mean, I got to shout him out. He sent me a bunch of Lego figures and like the expensive ones. Like I've got the new ship from Mando over there Lego set. I've got X-Wings over there. I've got his actual Razor Crest Lego set over there. This is stuff. What we're planning on doing is getting dressed up like we did that one time when we visited the Children's Hospital. But going in there, me dressed up, we'll have baby Grogu with his egg and everything hooked up. We got all this stuff for that, and visit the kids, make them smile, give them some presents. You know, that's all we want to do is just make their day better, spend time and them and let them just enjoy, you know, not thinking about what they're going through. So that's why we're doing that, and me and Finn are going to start planning that here with the ACS folks soon, getting those lined up as well. So yeah, that's all support from you guys. You know, that's why this community rules. You know, we've raised a ton of money for charity over the years. Mainly for the ACS, but we've done other things, and that's all you guys. So appreciate every single one of you guys that watches us or watches us later on. It really does matter, especially with the charity stuff. You guys rule. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. I can't say it enough. All right, I think we're good. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, blah 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 blah. We're getting out of here because I got to go get my notes together. I'm going to be doing two things today: watching football because it's the playoffs, and just researching my next lore part. We're doing the Sith right now, and oh god, there's so much lore. It's so stupid.
Just avoid all research. Just have ChatGPT do it. It's fine. Much easier.
No, I prefer to do the research myself. Yeah.
No, literally.
Because I have to be the one talking in the video,
okay,
so I have to know what I'm talking
terrible
about.
content, but it's much.
Yeah,
easier.
we're not doing terrible content. I'm actually taking the time.
Okay, I do terrible content.
Yeah. So yeah. Christ. So everyone have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back Monday. We'll do GAC and we'll get ready to start doing Conquest. We'll get all that stuff. I got some TWs, the battles to go do and everything. So busy day. So on behalf of myself and the panel, thanks for joining us today. Have a great rest of your day. Love you guys. I'll let you later.